Dang, buttons still work. Wow, it's crazy. I don't know if I'll ever get used to things just working. I'm so hardwired to just wake up in panic that I don't know what to do like when things just work. It's so fucked up. I seriously like I still have an instinct to wake up, look at my computer and expect it to be broken, and it's not. Measurements for the GIMP. Oh my god, are you gonna go get measurements done? Dude, I'm really excited for you. Seriously, GIMP suits are the shit. I mean, and you're gonna get like a well-fitted one. Like one personally made for you. I mean, I'm not, it would make me claustrophobic as fuck. I could never do it, but I'm excited for you. Also, thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving any swings for so fucking long, Yeet. I appreciate you. And not enough gun! Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a fucking anus swings, go forth and be consensual in all the ways. I fucking appreciate you. I know, I know. Well, I know, I shouldn't jinx them, right? I shouldn't say anything. I said nothing. It's still a piece of shit. It's fine. We're doing great. Did you know that jail in fact sucks donkey dicks? So boring. Luckily, I traded my lunch one day for the third and fourth Game of Thrones books. How y'all been? You know, I'm pretty sure all my brothers have been in jail. They weren't fans. They weren't fans. I don't think. I don't know. We don't talk that much. I haven't gone though, so like, yay. Actually, I think my two older sisters have been in jail too. I don't. One of them definitely has. I don't know about the other one. I have a lot of siblings. We're very spread out. We're not close. I literally have not spoken to any of them in years. I have no idea. We're not close by any means. But I'm pretty sure, like, I'm the first to graduate high school. I know that. Pretty sure they've all been in jail. You know what's crazy? My brother actually got on drugs in jail. It's not crazy. I'm sure a lot of us have a story similar to that, but yeah, my brother wasn't on them and then got in jail and came out on them, which was great. I've been arrested, but I didn't even sit in the drunk tank. I was so polite. They let me sit there and wait until I got a ride. That's pretty fucking nice. That's pretty nice. I've been arrested, but not jail or take. I was always under 18. I did all my dirties as a youth, if you know what I mean. As a little one, when when it gets expunged from your record. But it was honestly, I'm kind of glad I did. I got it out of my system. I feel like a lot of people, like I've told you guys stories about my roommate in college and shit. People go to college and suddenly get some freedom and lose their goddamn minds. And I like when you're signing up for your dorm and everything, you fill out, at least I did, you filled out a little like questionnaire that helped them match you to a roommate that had similar ideals or whatever. And I was pretty much moderate on everything. Like I'm like moderate on drinking, moderate on everything because I don't care if you drink, but I didn't want my room to be a party room. I need a room. I need like a space. And my roommate was like the person they assigned me was like a teetotaler in high school. Her parents were both teachers. She had never not been in their presence. And then when she got to college, she lost her fucking mind. And I ended up a babysitter for an acid head. I don't think you should be doing that shit as a teenager, but fuck, we have to have there's got to be an even keel somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a good idea to become an adult and well, not even, I mean, at 18, are we really an adult? To go to college and then suddenly have all that freedom and lose your fucking mind. Tailored and matching gloves and toe socks, dude. That's going to be, I mean, this song is actually perfect for it. All I think is, you've seen American Horror Story, right? First season of American Horror Story, there's a very unnerving gimp suit that, like, has a consciousness of its own or something. I don't even know. I haven't seen it for a bit. Jail and prison teach you how to be criminals, like school for criminals, at least in the US. It is. It's really sad. Our prison system is so fucked up. Jail's just a room in a cafeteria style room with one TV. We mostly watch FX movies and I just slept, ate, and read Game of Thrones for 15 days. Yeah. That seems to be the general, that's what my brothers have told me, like when we did talk back in the day. Whenever they went to jail, they just learned to keep to yourself. Keep to yourself, don't get involved with the shit. Stay the fuck away. I mostly just drink entirely too much. Oh, I definitely did that. Like, I've never been a massive, I don't know, I guess I was. Looking back on it, it looked like if it wasn't my personal experience, I'd be like, that was heavy drinking. But thinking on it, I didn't drink as much as anyone else I knew. Like, I was kind of a lightweight, so I felt like I wasn't, but rallying. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have seen memes and shit where it's like, at my age, a hangover's death. I don't know if hangovers have always been death or if it's at my age. I think, at least when I was in college, I wouldn't get a hangover because I'd rally. Like, you'd wake up at 11:30 noon the next day, crawl into the cafeteria, eat some cheesy potatoes, and then continue drinking. That was weekends. So I don't even know if I gave my body a chance to have a hangover or if I just drank it. I mean, it was terrible. I don't drink anymore. Not a fan. I wasn't a fan of it then, honestly. I think I just did it to alleviate social anxiety because I was like under the impression that I needed to be social. You have to be social. Go make friends. And I didn't like anyone I was being social with unless I was drinking, which is really sad. Don't do that. What up, Silver? Good morning. How are you? Happy Saturday. I hope everyone slept in, if you could, and had a good sleep. My back, I don't know what I did, honestly. Like, I hurt it, I guess. I don't know. My back is so fucked up. It's just killing me. Like, the head swivel and shit like that. I don't know. I've been doing all my yoga stretches, like, every stretch, but it's like, it's the opposite of what's normal. Normally, it's this shoulder, and it's this one. It's, like, down the inside of it. And it makes it hard to do anything. Ugh. Only time I ever had a hangover was when I grayed out most of the evening, woke up the next day. Grayed out? What's that? And I had to clean the vomit from my friend's bathroom. I'm sure I've had many hangovers in my life, but the worst hangover of my life was after PAX West. I want to say 2016 or something like that. But I went with an ex and I was traveling with like all the ESO devs, and we went out to dinner on the last night we were there. We were literally catching a plane the next morning to leave to go back to Baltimore. And one of the devs was like, I want to see Katie without what the fuck? I have not heard this song in a very long time. One of the devs was like, I want to see Katie with no filter. And I was like, what do you mean? What filter? What impression gave you I have a filter? And he was like, I want to see Katie with no filter. So I was like, all right, if this is on Bethesda Bill, let's fucking go. And I ordered like a drink and then a couple shots of whiskey, down to the 2 shots of whiskey, and then just started drinking. And he learned I don't have a filter. But that, I think borderline blacked out. Like, I don't remember much until getting back to the hotel and my ex, Brian, quite literally, I'd never puked before, which is weird to say, I know, but I just had this crazy constitution. I just didn't puke. And my ex was actually worried I was going to get alcohol poisoning, so he stuck a toothbrush down the back of my throat and just started, like, jamming it until I started puking. And I haven't stopped puking since. But I lived. But the hangover. The next morning, we had to get up really early and go to the airport and everything. And the whole dev team was there at the airport, like, because we were on the same flight and everything. And we all go out to get breakfast, and I couldn't eat one bite of a pancake. I wanted to die. I was so nauseous and so dizzy, and then I had to get on that fucking airplane and sit in a middle seat between 2 grown, sweaty men. No offense, you guys run hot. And I was just sitting in that seat like, don't puke. Don't puke. The whole fucking flight, like 6 hours, just sweating, like, don't vomit. No. Oh, that's probably the worst hangover I've ever had in my life, I would say. And it's mostly because I literally had to function. I think most hangovers you can sleep away, but I had to, like, do stuff. Fuck, dude. What up, BDO? Good morning. Blackout and you don't remember the night. Gray out means you remember snippets. Ooh, I've grayed out then. That's what I do. My wife was pretty funny, and like a parent talking to a dumbass child when I got out. Did you have fun? Not really. Are we going to stop being a dumbass? I guess. I know that feel. For gray out, something for me, it means something completely different. For me, it's something on roller coasters where the G-force forces your vision to go blurry and forces your eyelids shut. I've done that. Not on a roller coaster. It was on the it's like a G-force ride at Disney Epcot. What is it called? It is. I didn't like it. I don't want to go to space. I didn't like it. Hev! You fuck. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it since 27 months. I fucking appreciate you. Good morning, Mishy. Once you pop, you just can't stop. Why did I say that yesterday? So stupid. Yeah, doing literally even trying to lay down. Like, I remember in college, I've had maybe once or twice I got the spins. You ever get the spins? Hands down, I'd say nothing's worse. Like, all you want to do is lay down and go to sleep, and you're, oh, is it a little loud? Thank you. All you want to do is fucking lay down and go to sleep, and you just start to, like, you sit up and you're fine, and the moment you lay down, it's that, you literally feel like you're spinning. It is the most horrible fucking feeling. Can I just say, weed is great. There's no calories, there's no hangover, and I've never had the spins. Cheers. Stoner Bowl. Probably my weed from yesterday, I don't know. I hate when you take a hit and you immediately need to cough. Worst. Dude, this list is great. I finally got Spotify on my computer. Dude, it's the worst part. I mean, one of the, I don't know, it's probably the most annoying part for me personally, setting up a new PC, is remembering all your goddamn passwords. Oh my God. And getting back into everything. Nightmares. Nightmares. That attempt to cough where you're like, yeah. Ooh, what'd you get, Viata? What's the strain? There's so many songs like that, Cocky. I learned very recently. Oh my God, which song is it? There's a song that's like a really popular song from the 90s, and it's all about this couple. It's about a true crime, but I had no idea, and I almost know the whole song by heart. What is the song? Oh my God. Oh fuck. It'll come to me. Fuck, it's on the tip of my ass. But I was listening to this true crime story. It's not Eat You Alive. It's a weird true crime. It's not like a murder or anything like grotesque. It's really bizarre story. It was this older couple who planned a road trip to go to something, I can't remember, like a convention or something. And the day they're supposed to arrive, no one sees them. They don't no one can reach them or anything. And like, time goes by and someone eventually finds them. But like, say this is where their home was and this is where their destination was supposed to be. They were found this way, like off of a snowy embankment, dead in their car. And it was just, to this day, it's not solved. Like, no one has any idea why the fuck they went the opposite direction. Why were they in these snowy mountains? Like, everything. And, oh God, what is this fucking, it's gonna come to me. I'm gonna Google it. It's a really good song. You'll know it immediately. Oh God. Fastball. It's Fastball. Fastball is the band. What's the song? Just give me the song. The Way. Fastball the Way. It's Fastball the Way. Hold on. I'll let the song finish and then I'll play it. Yeah, it's all about this couple, and I've heard that song 5 million times probably. I don't know. I had no idea. Right? That's one of my favorite songs, but it's about this couple, which is so bizarre because I'd never heard this. True crime's a newer thing, but yeah, it's absolutely about that couple. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I love Fastball. The Way. This is the way. That's the way. Oh, you got a garlic strain? Dude, I keep looking for one ever since you got your last one. It was awesome. I also tried to suppress the cough and end up almost dying every fucking time. When I was in college, I worked this summer as a barista. I worked a 10-hour shift, then had a party right after. So around 9 p.m. that night, I took 5 shots of espresso. Oh my God. And then got hammered. I went home and was up till 7 a.m. Too drunk to do anything, too weird to pass out. 3 out of 10 would not recommend. I feel like that's what like Four Loko and shit was doing to people. Was Four Loko the one? There was a caffeinated, I want to say there was a caffeinated booze drink that was doing that to people, and it was really dangerous. Glorious Cannabis Co. called El Chivo. Oh my God, like chives. I love that. That's phenomenal. It does. When I play it, when you listen to the lyrics, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, it totally makes sense." Like when you actually listen to the lyrics, you're like, "Yeah, he's totally telling a story about people that just went missing and no one knows why and they're never going to get old." I remember that's one of the lyrics, right? They'll never grow old. They were like, I want to say they were older, but I don't. It's been a bit since I listened to the true crime. I don't remember. Thank you, Viata. Don't forget our better charity, guys. If you were unaware, if you didn't get to swing by yesterday, we've been invited to be a part of a stream team that's raising money for St. Jude's. And I'm not kidding when I say our stream team's been live for 3 days, and I think we're almost at halfway. Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. I think it's been live for 3 days total, and our team has raised $42,000, 215.61. Insane. Fucking crazy. So cool. Thank you so much. It's just amazing. May the 4th be with you. Oh my God, I forgot. I get to go to oh my God, I forgot it's the 4th. I'm going to a burlesque show tonight. Super random. Zach and I almost completely forgot about it. Mandrakan, thank you for gifting a sub to Obi-Wan Kadoobie. Oh, pause. Pause. I'm so sorry. I fucking hate the Smashing Pumpkins. Don't hate me.
But I just don't understand what is appealing about this.
They made up their minds and they started talking. Yeah, this one. Random. I know, it's terrible. Zach loves Smashing Pumpkins. It's one of our clashes. Just not my jam. To each their own though. Yeah, sugar. I mean, let's be real. For knowing the way, like, obviously, I'm the minority not liking Smashing Pumpkins. They're legendary. They're still touring, for fuck's sake. They're incredible. Like, what's his name? Something Corrigan? Is it Danny Corrigan? Oh my God. I just blanked on his Billy Corgan. He's a very talented dude. It's just his voice drives me crazy. Just me personally. There's a couple bands like that. I'm sure you have them too. Counting Crows, hate them. Just not my jam. But to each their own. I mean, obviously they're very loved. Like they're so fucking popular. They're still going. How many years now? 30 years? It's such a morbid song now that you think about it. It's crazy. I don't hold shit. I would never hold anything against anybody. Music's there to be enjoyed. As long as you're not listening to like anti-Semitic hillbilly shit, we're fine. I used to have a friend. I had a friend that used to do karaoke Smashing Pumpkins. It sounded exactly like Billy. Yeah, it's a very unique voice, and a lot of people love it. I love a lot of unique music that people probably hate. That's okay. Solus, this is Fastball. Fastball the Way. I was saying I learned really recently that this song is based on a true crime of a couple that died mysteriously. And I had no idea, and I think it's really interesting. I love learning stuff like that because I've heard this song a million times. Cake is great, though. I mean, Cake the Thing and Cake the Band are phenomenal. True. All types of cake are good. You're very right. Cake's a phenomenal. I mean, I used to listen to Cake all the time. I bet Cake, if I click on Fastball Radio, I bet they'd come up. We played a Cake song The Distance. The Distance came on the other day, right? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I wouldn't go for Urinal Cakes. You got me there. Sheeps go to heaven, goats go to hell. Aw, good. I'd rather hang out with the goats. My shit just did the jump. Satan is my motor? Why do I not know that? Wait, do I know that one. What up, Philwin? How are you, love? I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Just hock a loogie instead. Yeah, this one, The Distance. This came on the other day. Fucking classics, dude. I'm gonna sneeze. Just do it. Just sneeze. My eyes are watering. I'm gonna sneeze. I hate this. I know. Just do it. It's... Smoke, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving it for 44 months. Silly fuck, I appreciate you. I know I want to sneeze so bad. It's right on the edge. It's just not happening. Oh my god, sneeze. I gotta blow my nose. I'm gonna blow my nose real quick because I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna die. Seriously, I can't stop sneezing. I'm gonna do it again. It's like there's something in my nose. Just give me a second. It's making me cry. Look at this. I'm gonna. The plant sperm is killing me. I know. I love cake, but I feel like like there's a piece of dust right here up in my nose. I can feel it tickling. I know. I just sneezed like 20 times in the bathroom. I almost sneezed myself into a puke. Holy crap. I hate it so much. I love Jimmy Eat World though. Don't do it again. Who gets sneeze attacked like this? Good God. That was weird. Sorry. Mish, I'm so glad I'm not the only one, because damn, I actually ran out of Flonase. I might see if Zach has some and steal some of his Flonase. That might help get whatever's in my nose. Because I ran out a couple days ago, and that might be it. But man, it's, everything's blooming, the pollen and shit. Whoa. I just sneezed so hard. I think I grew an ab. I do. I have one of those, not the pot, but like the one that you squeeze and like spray up your nose. Yeah, I do those pretty regularly. And then I have like saline nasal spray and shit. But damn, my eyelashes are so full of tears right now. That was an attack. That was crazy. Gesundheit, no shit, dude. Whoa. Good, Phil, and I'm glad. Wait, I have a button of essays. Oh God, I'm enjoying it though. My Davis SP Panama tarantula has grown beautifully. Yes. I have to add more spooners to my collection since I was in here last. What is the enclosure to your right? This big one? Frogs. I've got 3 dumpy frogs, Australian dumpy frogs in there. And then all these guys are geckos. This one is a Leachianus. This one's spiders, actually. This one's a Leachianus, and this one's crested geckos. Of which I think there's a Preger one in there, so I've been watching closely because they bury their fucking eggs in the dirt. Thank you, Mandracan, you generous fuck. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go blow my nose one good last time. Enjoy some music. Sorry. Sorry. I guess I had to clear my face. So, Blind Melon, fuck yeah. That was a lot of sneezing. There's so much like tears in my eyelashes, I can see them. That was a lot. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of an attack. Allergies, they're the worst. I went out there and Zach's like, good thing no one can die from sneezing. I'm like, yes, thank you. Fucking noses, man. I don't think I have a giant nose, but maybe it's just so big it just holds pollen or some shit. I don't fucking know. Well, that's C-Town. I like honestly, my back's already thrown out. Like I did it. I don't know what I did, but the right or my left side has been really fucked the past couple days, and I've been stretching the shit out of it. And so when I started sneezing, I like literally was doing this like, like upright, looking at the ceiling, sneezing. Because if I do like a hunch sneeze, it fucking kills it. Like a hunch cough or anything, I gotta cough like with this crazy posture. Otherwise, it fucking kills it. What? I feel like that happened in a movie. Someone sneezed violently and impaled themselves. That happened to a kid when I was in elementary school. Quinn, his name was Quinn. I'll never forget him. We were actually kind of buddies all through school because he was, we were both class clowns. But, he was sitting at his desk. We were all sitting at our desks, obviously. But he's sitting at his desk with his pencil like this. And he sneezed onto it. And came up and it was stuck in his head. And I'm pretty sure to this day he still has a gray dot in his head. On his forehead. He had one in high school. I know he did. It was horrifying. Like, it was... What? And we were all just like... It was just not an okay moment. My mom re-broke her rib by sneezing. Yep, people can cough their ribs out of place and shit like that. People do it all the time. It's really bad. Hookin, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving it swings for 54 months. That's a really fucking long time. God damn. I feel like after I sneeze, I'm awake now. Like I cleared my face and my eyes are open for the first time all day. Crazy. Dude, cocky. Same. Hard. I mean, I think I've told you this, but when I was a kid, when I like growing up, it's still to this day like a joke in my house. My house was a 3-story like cake. My dad designed it. It was like a hexagon, 3-story. I was in the basement. My parents were on the top floor, but all the plumbing was stacked on top of each other. So all the bathrooms were up so that because my dad's a plumber, then you can minimize plumbing. I don't fucking know. He designed it. And every morning before school, I'd wake up, take a shower because, you know, back in the day, you had to take a shower every single day and burn your hair straight and blow dry it and destroy your scalp. And I would be in the shower every morning. And my parents could hear it on the 3rd floor because all the bathrooms were connected, like all the piping. And to this day, they give me a hard time about it. I'm like, you fucking made me. Fix it. You broke it. You buy it. Fuck. You think I like this life? Do you think I enjoy this? Fuck, dude. What am I supposed to do? Just let it go? What up, boy? Well, good morning. I had a nosebleed first thing this morning. Dude, that sucks. I've only had like 2 nosebleeds in my life, and it's always just been from dry weather. Which is weird. Never from like getting smacked. Dude, somber. Literally, I was just telling chat, this is like the 3rd day where nothing has gone wrong. It's kind of a miracle. Like, I'm still not 100% used to just having a computer that's not going to be a piece of shit. It's, wild. Still getting through it. Like, it's a process, you know, like getting all the, like, you know, I'll be fine, and then I'll go to find something, I'll be like, oh, I haven't even downloaded that on this PC yet, or I haven't even signed into that yet, and then I have to find my fucking username and my password, and that's a nightmare all the time. But, it's better. Ooh, did I miss a little black dress? I'm sorry. Probably my sneeze attack. Sounds familiar as a kid that had to snort the snot out because blowing it out with a Kleenex never worked. Gross for sure, but it is what it is. That's me. I mean, I'm just snot. Like, I feel like my nose is just broken, and I'm always a fucking snot child. I could hawk a loogie further than any of you. I'd put money on it. June 1997. Oh, this is the couple. Okay, so disappearance of the elderly married couple. They were elderly. I knew it. Layla and Raymond Howard from Salado, Texas. Salado? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Who left home to attend the Pioneer Day Festival at nearby temple. I knew they were doing something. Texas, despite Layla's Alzheimer's and Raymond recently recovering from brain surgery, they were discovered 2 weeks later dead at the bottom of a ravine near Hot Springs, Arkansas. Excuse me, I can read. Hundreds of miles off their intended route. So weird. The authorities who investigated the accident believe that Layla, who was driving the car, it was, I listened to one of my true crime podcasters talk about it a bit ago. I can't remember who it was, but I'm sure they have, because it's very weird. I mean, they, like I said, like, they were here, they were supposed to go here, and they were found this way. Like, they were supposed to go to Texas and found in Arkansas, and it was just, I don't think they ever really solved it. I think they have conjectures, but I don't think they solved it. They just, who knows? I mean, maybe it was Alzheimer's. Maybe it was brain surgery. Like, I don't. Scary. Very scary. I'm going to load a bowl. It's the concept. I mean, the concept that your brain can turn against you like that and just make you get lost is scary. Oh, Mareed, how are you, love? They're not. They're pouting. There's a bunch of people in our neighbor's yard, so they wanted to bark at them, and I told them no, so they're pouting at me now. Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it was Maybelline. Isn't it weird how weird commercials like that stick in your heads? I don't think I use a Maybelline product. I don't think I've ever purchased a Maybelline anything. What does Maybelline make? Makeup? But like, we all know that one. Maybe she's born with it. Yeah, like a recent brain surgery and Alzheimer's going off on a road trip together of an elderly couple. Like, I'm not an ageist person. I think you can be my Nana was totally functional until 89, until she died. I'm not an ageist person, but like, I wouldn't be shocked if that was part of the cause of why they got lost. That's very sad. Or breaking a rib sneezing? Jesus Christ. Please don't make me do that. Oh, Maybelline Great Lash. I have used, I mean, who hasn't? I would be really hard pressed to believe that there's a person out there who hasn't, I mean, who utilizes mascara and hasn't used the pink and green mascara. It's so iconic. That it's pink and green, right? Yeah, I mean, it was one of the like, I remember I liked it because it was super wet and it would smudge. So then you'd put on your mascara and it would get all over your eyelids and then you'd smudge it in with your fingers and it'd give you that like smoky eye look before smoky eye looks. It was bad. Like, it wasn't good shit. But I think we all fucking used it. What up, Lena? How are you, love? Dude, same. Crispy, honestly, I mean, I've been bitching about it for days, but this is why I really, really, really wanted to get Spotify back. YouTube's great, but YouTube tends to put me on this repetitive, like, do you want to hear the same 10 Deadmau5 songs over and over and over again? And I'm like, no. No, I do not. You're going to hurt these songs. Like, I'm queen of repeating a song until I kill it, and you're killing it for me. Stop it. Whereas Spotify, I can put in an artist. Like, all I did was, I think I put in Fastball. And now I'm just going to get all the music I want to listen to. And it's not going to repeat the songs. And it's the best. Oh my God. Kun, holy shit. I've never thought of that. The thing that blows my mind is we have a head full of jingles. Zoomers and alphas don't have that. I've never thought of that, but we are kind of a freakish generation that, United Furniture Warehouse, ba-dum-bum. Do you like it? I love it. I got it at Ross. Oh my God. Do jingles even exist anymore? Like, do they even do that kind of shit? Other than local stuff like the 2-300 Empire or whatever. I don't remember the numbers, but Empire. It was like carpets or something. That is so weird. I've never thought of that, but you're absolutely right. Weird. I don't even like. I wonder if they just. Wow. I've never thought of that. You kind of blew my mind there. We're a weird generation that. I mean, brush up, brush up, brush up, brush with new Ipana, brush up, brush up, brush up. It's healthy for your teeth. Holy shit. Cheers. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, even if they watch television, are there jingles anymore? Like, do people even do that for commercials? I haven't seen an ad on a TV in so long, I don't even know. Weird. It ain't got a thing if it ain't got that cling. Oh my God, once you pop, you can't stop. Huh. Huh. Holy shit. So weird. Never thought about that. But yeah, it's kind of was a bubble. A weird bubble in time where we all got inundated. Like, I've never bought any of these products before. No. I've never even been to a Ross. I've been to TJ Maxx. Cheers. Weird. So we just sound insane. The old folks' homes, when we're all old, are going to be like, all the nurses are going to be like, you hear them singing these songs? They must have loved Charmin. Charmin, right, gun? I've only had one hit. This is just funny. I never thought about it. But like, the Budweiser frogs, right? Budweiser. Like, this is shit that we're just going to look insane one day. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. It's weird. Cheers. What up, Reasonable? How are you? Me too. Or if someone mentions fat bastard at any point in time. 877, cash now. Oh my God. That's weird. I've never, we're a freak generation that I mean, these are the things that are going to be coming out of us one day. It's just we're going to have the weirdest nursing homes. I'm kind of excited. It'll just be like people trying to play a video game with their mind because probably that's the way it'll be then. And, singing jingles from commercials. Eternally? The fuck? I mean, Viata, it's already happening. It's already happening. I've had thoughts recently, like, where I think to myself, like, why don't the kids just say something? Like, tell that teacher to fuck off. And then I think back and I'm like, oh, yeah, we didn't know we could. Or something like that. Like, I'm starting to disconnect. Like, I think I'm getting to the age where I'm disconnecting with the thought process of youth. It doesn't make sense to me anymore, which is interesting. You know what, Little Breakfast? That's the only one I never knew. The 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Have you ever had a Big Mac? Real question. I'm serious. I had my first Big Mac this year, and I was severely underwhelmed, and I don't get it. Thank you. What are they? Goonies, my love, how are you? I don't get it. It's like they're known for them or something, I guess. I grew up not being allowed to eat fast food and shit like that, so not having it as a kid was probably maybe part of it. But I don't hate McDonald's. Like, I'll get down on a fucking cheeseburger once in a while, but a Big Mac, it's just, you just put a piece of bread into a double cheeseburger. Like, why did you do that? Why did you put more bread in it? Why would you do that? I hate it. I was really excited to try it and just like, wow, I don't get it. Like, do you guys remember when that show came out that was like Super Size Me? And they interviewed a dude who had at least a Big Mac every day of his life for X amount of years or something like that. Like, he'd eaten so many fucking Big Macs. He was obsessed with them. And he would sit there and talk poetically about them. And I tried it and I was like, man, I don't get it. It's just more bread. Why would you want more bread? Yeah, exactly, Music Man. That's all it is. That's the Big Mac sauce, and then they add fucking bread. Royale with cheese is where it's at. Mad Mark, I didn't hear he controlled a game, but I heard that he's alive. My dad loved Big Macs. Yeah, I never saw anyone eat one, so I just never even thought of it. I think I've only been to a Burger King like once or twice in my life. Was supposed to get on a work call an hour ago. I got on the call and they hit me with, hey, can we push this back 2 hours?
I'm sorry, it's a Saturday.
Do you get paid to sit around for all the hours that, I mean, I know this is so unrealistic, but like, do they realize that they're just. Oh, on call. Fuck that. I'm sorry. That's shitty. I was going to say, like, that's, for me at least, I would just sit around waiting for that appointment. Oh my God, my strap is about to snap. Holy crap. This is one of my tank tops from high school. Understandable. She's going. This is my sanity. This is literally where my mental health is at these days. I would too. Like, what if you had plans and you canceled plans? Or, you just didn't make plans for an entire day, or you literally just didn't go do anything, and now they're making you sit around for another 2 hours and wait for it? It seems a little unreasonable. Dude, 100%, Lena. Homemade anything's better. Dude, Zach made steaks last night. And I'm sure he thinks I'm just trying to butter him up. I don't know. He makes a better steak than I can get at a restaurant. Zach has perfected steaks. I don't know, like, we've gone out, and tried to get it. We're like, yeah, let's go get a fancy fucking steak or what the fuck ever. It's never, like, I don't know. Home cooked anything's gonna be better. I don't fucking know. Zach has turned into a chef. Like, he's always cooked for himself and shit like that, which, I mean, most of us probably have at some point in our life. But once we started doing HelloFresh and stuff, and he started like learning, like he makes his own sauces and stuff just from his brain because he knows what to put together from HelloFresh. Like HelloFresh has like taught him, and he's just better. I don't know. Why? Dogs are barking at Zach. Sorry, I had to bark back. Yep, he does. Zach, when you do your steaks, cast iron and then oven, right? Yeah, cast iron and then pan, and then oven. Excuse me. Yeah, or pan, sear. Yes, he sears and then he ovens. Yep. And he's done it every way. Like, he's experimented the opposite way. He's experimented with just the oven, with just the broil. Like, he's done it every fucking way, and I think that's his preferred way. And this, I mean, it's so rare that I don't want to put a sauce on a food. I'm a very big sauce queen, and I fucking, like, sat down at dinner and just piled through half of a fucking New York strip that was, like, this big before even realizing there was other food or sauce or anything. And I was like, dude, babe, I don't know, man. He's just got it. Steak at home is made better. I agree. Yeah, it just is. I grew up with barbecued overcooked steak. My family is very much like put it on the barbecue until it's brown. And while I do not care how you like your steak, like eat food the way you like it and don't let anyone make you feel bad, I don't like well done dry meat. That's why you need sauce. It's dry and has no flavor to me. It's like trying to chew beef jerky. I like a good medium rare-ish. But I'm not, I mean, as long as it's not blue, I'll fucking get down on it. So it's, I mean, having a nice steak is just like, oh God, so nice. One of my best friends married a chef. Fucking A. I get invited over all the time. They live like, well, you know what? You're tall like me and you probably eat like me, which means they're probably excited to feed you. People look at they look at us and they're like, oh, they'll eat a lot. Let's go. Like, chefs like to feed, man. They don't like birds. Zach has 2 unmarried brothers, actually. Pagan, they're good, actually. A lot of my spiders are in molt right now. It's starting to warm up outside, so all of them are molting, so they're all cranky and gangly. It's really good, Kinger. No shit. He does, this is what he says he does. I'm sure there's chefy, like, you know, pluses and minuses, whatever. But basically, he thaws them, he lets them sit out and become room temperature and dry. And then right before cooking them, olive oil, salt, and pepper, 3 minutes both sides, and then in the broiler, or in the oven for X amount of time, I don't know. Shut Dogs are freaking out today, and I don't know why. I think our neighbors are working on their house, to be honest. Not a broiler, just the oven. I know some people do steaks in the broiler, but that's not what Zach does. Has he done it while doing a handstand? No. I wouldn't want that to happen. I don't want to go to the hospital. Please, no. Yep, that's kind of same. Like, everything you put ketchup on, because it was all dry as fuck. And my mom didn't season things. Like, seasoning is too much. You know, and to her, black pepper is spicy. So I grew up on very bland, very overcooked food. So it's fun to not do that. Goonies, do it. You officiated their wedding? Dude, that's fucking sick. Wait, have you officiated more than one wedding? Because I feel like you've told me this before. Oh, it's cool. We don't, honestly, I kind of like don't want to watch anything or that has to do with Elon Musk. Call me crazy. He's kind of a douche. I'm molting. No shit. That's probably what it feels like because it looks like it hurts. That noise gate doing its job today. Dude, maybe I actually narrowed it down and got it to work. Kinger, yeah, I don't think it's very long because the sear usually does most of it. It's just to, like, overall warm the meat, I think. The man has the right technique. Is that it? He's tried every technique, Crispy, I swear. Like, we've gone through, I mean, this has been years. You know, it's not like we eat steak very often because it's expensive. But it's years of like, you know, he always like he'll sit by the oven and you know I'll be standing outside with the dogs and he's like, I think I'm gonna try this today. I'm like, okay, like we talk about it. He bounces his ideas off me and I'm like, yeah, sure. I can't cook a steak. Well, I did cook that big steak. So I can't say I didn't cook a steak, but I did it the same way he does it. That big fucking tomahawk thing. I did it the same way he does it, just for way fucking longer because it was 5 pounds of meat. That tomahawk, yeah, I cooked that. But that was like, I mean, it was so fucking big, I couldn't even tell you how many minutes of sear it took. Because it was like sear, and then you had to like sear, like do the roll. Because it was like that thick. And I did it. I mean, I just have to say, I do have to flex on it. It was that thick, and the whole outside was a rim of fat. And like, I'm not a huge fan of like too much, the ratio of fat being more than meat in my mouth. It's just too gushy, and it kind of freaks me out. It's a texture thing. But if I can burn the fat and like render it and make it crispy, and I did that. Like I borderline like deep fried it. Like, you know, do the pan tilt so all the oil's in one corner and then just jam the fat into that oil and just sit there. That's what I did until the fat like fucking pork belly. I still know this whole thing by heart. Is that sick? This whole thing. Like, no shit. The other day out of nowhere, I sang it to Zach and he's like, what is that? Why are you singing that at me? I'm like, I don't know. I can't handle extremely spicy food. It makes the acid in my stomach angry, but I love the flavor from a habanero. I totally get that. My stomach doesn't get mad at spicy food, strangely, which is nice because I like it. Tomahawk steak is essentially, if you've ever seen the fancy steak where it's like, I believe it's a rib, right? And it's got it looks like a tomahawk, like a fucking axe. I think that's why it's called it, right? This was for Zach's birthday last year, which is almost a year away now. I got him 2 enormous, just ridiculous steaks from a really nice, like, online meat person, whatever. Dude, it was so good. I'm pretty sure it was a rib. It's like part of the prime rib, but it was really fucking good. I think you can literally attain the same cut of meat minus the giant bone. The bone is mostly for looksies. Like, I don't really think it does anything because the steak is so fucking big. It's not like you can hold it by the tomahawk and take bites of it. It's not like you can hold it by the tomahawk, by the bone. It was huge. I mean, enormous. Like, between the two of us, I think we barely finished half of it on an empty, not eating all day stomach. Like, it was enormous. But they're not all that big. Spice on a steak? I think he just does salt and pepper. And then, he does like, you know what, Mob? He does that fancy, like, I don't know what it's called, but towards the end when you melt butter and then he throws like herbs and shit in it and then he starts like splashing it on the steak like a fucking face wash commercial or something. Can you tell I'm not a cook? I bake, man. What is that? So there's spices, there's herbs in there. It's like thyme. I know thyme is always in there because we have to buy thyme regularly. Like I've never had to regularly buy a spice for my spice cabinet in my life. Thyme. We've regularly had to replace thyme. I'm trying to think probably garlic of some kind, I would imagine. I don't know. I'm really bad. It's so bad. My family wasn't the type to like, you know, come in the kitchen, children, let's cook. It was like, get the fuck out of the kitchen. So I didn't learn how to cook. I don't know. I'm scared about that area. One benefit of living in the middle of nowhere, PA, is that there's lots of butchers with straight out of the field cows. Yep, they have that here too. It's kind of amazing. Like there's a lot of local beef because there's so much open land and shit. There's a lot of beef around here. Not the fucking produce sucks though. That is something I've really had to get over living here. I've never lived anywhere with shitty produce. Like you cannot buy crisp lettuce in Colorado. They think it's crisp. It's not. Their produce is shit. But the meat is dank. Oh my god, Lena, did I show you the book that Glut got me? Oh my god. On that note, this has now become part of our charity incentives. So Glut sent me this as a surprise. Herbally infused and chronically bemused, an herbally infused cookbook and broccoli lover's guide to exceptional elevation. And it's a fucking coloring book on top of it, which is just incredible. But it's so cool, and there's like pages to record strains you buy. He tells you different temperatures for different terpenes and stuff like that and how not to burn it. And then the last half of the book is like all these fun recipes and how to make the weed butter. So I'm really excited. Once we hit 2,000, we're going to do weed butter. And I don't know, a recipe. There's so many. I really didn't realize how much you could do with weed butter. But as long as you don't cook something at some extreme, like I think it's over 260, you can literally almost do anything. It's kind of crazy. Seriously. There's a place near me that does coffee crusted steak. I'd get down on that. I was very not averse, but the crusted thing became a thing like 10 or 15 years ago. Like everybody was like, oh my God, have you tried crusted tuna? Or like pepper crusted tuna? And I was like, why is everyone getting crusty suddenly? And I was a little off put by it, but it's the shit. I love a crusty edge. Like I'm all about a corner piece. Give me a corner piece of literally anything. If it's got burnt edges, I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm not averse to it at all. I don't have any more Black Widows, not in my house that I'm aware of. I've had buffalo. Well, I've had beefalo, which is a hybrid. From what I hear, the reason I think the music got a little loud. From what I hear, the reason you don't see just buffalo a lot, you see a lot of beefalo, at least where I've been, is because buffalo allegedly is extremely lean and kind of gamey. And so by breeding it with a cow and making a beefalo, it like mellows out the flavor and makes it more fatty, I guess, because we've bred cows to be fat. I don't know. Not a farmer. But I had a beefalo burger and it was tasty. I don't know. It tasted just like burger to me. I didn't like. I grew up on gamey meat though. I grew up on with hunters and shit, so I kind of maybe have a weird palate. We grew up eating venison and shit pretty regularly, like venison chili. Oh, get it. If you've never, you don't even know. Venison chili is better than all other chilies, and you can't convince me otherwise. I had crocodile as well. Yeah, I had, okay, Glut, is it crocodile or alligator in Florida? I always fuck up which one's which. It's the nose. You can tell by the nose. Alligator. I've had alligator. Thank you. I had alligator. And it was fucking delicious. It was like the most tender, succulent, juicy little chicken nugget I've ever fucking consumed in my life. It was, and I wish I would have been more hungry. I was like, it was a bar at the end of the night. You know, my friend and I were just like walking up and down the beach, and we were like, let's go get some appetizers and have a drink. And I was already full from dinner. Like we had a steak dinner or something that night. I like steak. And I couldn't eat them all. Like I don't think we finished the basket of them because I was so fucking full. But God, they were really good. Oh, is there both? Oh, really? Is one freshwater and one saltwater? Or is that just me making shit up in my head? I don't know. We have snapping turtles in Baltimore, but I don't think we have gators or anything in Baltimore. That far north, it gets too cold. I think. Cheers. I think it's something like that, Glut. Like one of them lives in the swamps where it's more freshwater or brackish, and then one lives out in the salty stuff. But man, God, I wish I knew more about alligators and crocodiles. And then there's caimans, which are like I think a whole other thing. Lena, it's delicious, and honestly, like I'm not one to go out and I'm not just trying obscure meats or something just to try obscure meats. I will though if it's ethically attained. Like I'm all about the adventure for it. Like even when I was vegan, if I was traveling and stuff and someone offered me something unique and different that was probably an animal product, I'm not turning it down an experience because of some fucking moral value in my stomach or something. But in Glut can probably speak on this a lot more, but there's plenty of gators, yeah. Like, it's kind of a population control thing that they can farm them, right? It's not like we're raising gators and peeling their skin and throwing their bodies away, which is icky, icky poo, and I would never support or participate in any bullshit like that ever in a million years, because fuck that. But it's, it's a good thing. Yeah, they farm raise them for the meat and the skin. Yep, there you go. All parts. I mean, there are some if you live anywhere in the South near the Gulf, like I don't know if you call them rednecks or hillbillies or whatever, but they're basically the version of me in the South where it's like you're gonna find a lot of gator skulls and shit in their house probably, and they're gonna finger their belly button when they talk to you on the front porch with something hanging out of their mouth. Florida man. You want to know something funny? So when everybody was like, hey, if you go to like Google and you type in your birthday in Florida man, you'll get, it's fun. It's like there's so many different Florida man articles because of that weird, like, you can report on anything in Florida that you can find anything. Guess who doesn't have a Florida man? Do you want to know why? I am Florida man. Florida and I have the same birthday. Fuck. But yeah, you can go find your Florida man. Google it. Unless your birthday is March 3rd, in which case you won't get a Florida man. You'll get the establishing of Florida, March 3rd. Cool. I'm redneck and I got 4 alligator heads on my tail. That's what I'm saying. Like, where I grew up, we don't have gators, but my parents have a moose rack in the basement that is on the wall, but they use it to dry clothes. Like, it's a clothes hanger. It's huge. I mean, it's bigger than my arm span. If you've ever seen a moose rack, you know what I'm saying. It's enormous. And they've got deer antlers all over the house. And my dad, like, growing up, our house was like plopped in the middle of an enormous wheat field on a river. And you had to drive down this pretty fucking long driveway just down the middle of a wheat field to my house. And my dad had these like big posts essentially that were like 12 feet tall that were just driftwood from the river that he would line the driveway with and stick deer heads on them to be cleaned. I don't know how to, like, he'd kill a deer and then stake the head, and then birds and bugs would eat all the flesh off of it, and then in a couple months you'd have a clean skull and horns or antlers. Yeah. But, if anyone that didn't live in Eastern Washington and wasn't a fucking redneck drove down my driveway, they'd probably think we were like cannibals that were fucking each other or something. I don't know. As a child, this was very normal to me until I brought a boyfriend home from college who was like, none of this is normal. Are your parents witches? And I was like, no. Oh, God. It was very normal. Like, my dogs oftentimes would go, we always had like a little pack of dogs, and they would pack up and down the beach without us and find a dead deer or something, drag it into our yard and just dismember it. So you'd wake up in the morning and there'd be like a rib cage in the middle of the yard, and one of your dogs next to it just like, I'm great, Mom. What's up? But that was so normal. It wasn't weird. It was very it happened so fucking often. Got a load of bowl. So Florida doesn't have the same privacy laws as most other states. This is why there's Florida man. There's just a ton of people here, 22 million, and news outlets can scan arrest records every morning for interesting stories. There you go. Yeah, that's the only reason. I mean, every state has weird fucking people, just like Florida, man. Let me tell you, I see them in the hospitals all the time. But Florida's allowed to report on it, so they do. Yeah. Wait, what did you check? Oh yeah, desert. There's multitudes of there's different types of deserts in the world. I live what's called high desert. So it's got the same look of desert, but we get really, really hot and we get really, really cold. Whereas there's low desert that tends to not get the cold half. So it's just like a little bit. Oh, March 3rd, Florida man. Yeah. Oh, did you find a Florida man for March 3rd? What is it? What did you get? What is it? Your dogs ate turtles? Dude, the turtles in Maryland would have eaten my dogs. The snapping turtles? Those things? They get bigger than this. I think they're bigger than my arm span, to be honest. They are so fucking big. Yeah. The kids in my neighborhood would see it like tromping up and down our sidewalk because we had a pond. And because this snapping turtle decided to live in the pond, no one could dredge it or do anything. So the snapping turtle would once in a while go for a walk and all the kids would hide because they can take your hand as far as I know. Like the jaws of a snapping turtle are not to be fucked with, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with those at all. I've never seen a scorpion here. Nope. We have lots of spiders though. And so where I am in Denver, we're really close to the mountains and we are like the highest elevation without being in the mountains. So it gets really cold here. So not a lot of large insects can really live here, like scorpions and stuff. Scorpions are more low desert, but tarantulas dig deep into the dirt and do like an overwinter thing. And so I've heard there's tarantulas here, but I've never seen one. I've seen black widows though, and lots of little jumping spiders and shit like that all the time. I mean, we have so many jumping spiders. They're everywhere. All different kinds. I could not identify all of them if I wanted to. Phidippus apachianus is one of them. Cheers. Shut the fuck up, Zebot. That's beautiful. Florida man shoots sister in butt with BB because she gave him penis shapes birthday cake. That's beautiful. That's fucking fitting. The last time I Googled it, I couldn't get one. It just gave me the birthday. That's beautiful. Do I like living in Denver? It's not the worst place. I mean, honestly, no. I kind of hate it. It's my least favorite place I've lived, probably. But it's probably just personal reasons. Like, it's really hard to do anything here unless you're really wealthy. It's all become very, ski resortified. Like, all the fun shit that locals could do, they've turned into, like, rich white people activities, and it's really hard to do it if you're not rolling. Like, I live 30 minutes from the mountains, and I haven't snowboarded or skied since I moved here because a lift ticket's $500-ish. It's crazy. Like, it's just astronomical. And, like, if you want to live anywhere actually near the mountains to be closer to the nature and stuff like that, that's Boulder. So you're going to be paying millions of dollars for a house. Like, it just kind of sucks that way. And the weather is extreme. Again, it's not the worst in the world, but it's extreme. If you get weather, there's no fall or spring, and those are, like, my two favorite seasons. So I personally take offense that those are gone. We go from 0 degrees to 70 in a day. Like, actually, literally, we just don't have those two middle seasons because everything's so extreme. So it's kind of like, it's laziness on my part. I just want to have, like, one set of clothes I can wear 365. You know what I'm saying? And living here, I literally have totes of winter clothes and then totes of summer clothes that change out in my wardrobe because the weather is so extremely different. And I don't like it. I hate it a little bit. But it's not the worst place ever. The people are really nice. The people of Colorado are super nice. I live in almost 100% a Mexican neighborhood, and all my neighbors are really sweet. They all for the most part, keep to themselves, and they're really quiet. The weed is off the charts, though. Oh my God, it's so cheap and so good. Like, I was just telling people the other day, I went to the dispensary, and they had an ounce of shake for $29. An ounce, a full ounce. And the shake all it is popcorn buds. It's not broken down leaves and stems. There are no stems and no leaves in it. It's just popcorn buds. It's perfect weed. And that is fucking, you can't get that anywhere else, man. It's crazy. I didn't get that. I got an ounce of decent, like, mid-grade weed, and it was $60. Like, that is fucking wild. And I haven't heard from anyone other than people who grow themselves or whatever being able to find equal, like, prices like that. It's just, and I don't know if it's because Colorado was, I think, the first state to legalize recreational weed. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the first. I don't know. I wasn't living here when they legalized, but maybe because they've been established for so long. I don't know. That's got to be it. They are the first one. Okay, cool. Yep. They were the first. I lived in Washington State when they legalized. And I remember that going down. And Washington State, I don't think was too bad. I remember when I was leaving, the last time I ever bought weed in Washington, I got an ounce. And it was like $160. Like a full ounce of one strain was like $160, I want to say. But that was a really long time ago. I haven't lived in Washington for a very long time. Crazy. Super weird. What just happened? I heard the buzz. Who's done what? Apical, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive and giving it any swings. I appreciate you, honey. How are you, love? Yeah, but lots of people love it here. Like, Colorado feels like you're living in an REI. Like, everybody wears hiking clothes like Patagonia or fucking North Face 24/7 all the time. It's similar to Washington State a little bit in that, like, people love a microbrewery or a micropub and Patagonia a little bit. And it's just expensive. It feels like it's gotten really gentrified. Like all of, Vail isn't that far away from me, but could I afford to ski at Vail? Absolutely not. And if I could, would I even want to spend that? I don't think so. Like, I don't know a world where $500 for a day activity makes me feel good. Like, Disneyland's cheaper than that. Disney World is cheaper than that, I think. Weed shops are everywhere. They are literally everywhere. Night Driver, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's still that bad. And when I was living in Baltimore, 4 years ago, I was paying upwards of $2.50 for an ounce of, like, hit or miss weed. Like, who knows what it was. Half the time it was seeded. Like, I didn't know. But that was normal. That was that was actually really good price. I've had to pay up to $400 before. Like, it's crazy. In states where it's not legal, it's still pretty fucking expensive. But nowadays, you can get a quarter for $15 in these. But some, like, California is the most expensive recreational weed I've ever had. And I don't know if it's still that way. I haven't been in California for a few years. But the last time I went was some con. Not this TwitchCon. This TwitchCon was in Vegas. Some con, I don't remember. But the oh my God, the taxes on Cali weed. Easily 3 times the price anywhere else I've ever bought weed. It was on par with illegal market prices. It was crazy. Like, I think I just went in. I was going to a con, and so my buddy came with me to go to a dispensary just to get some pre-rolls, and it was like $300 for 3 pre-rolls or something like that. It was and I'm not like getting fucking like Shaolin Monk rolled shit here. It was all the taxes were just crazy. You have way more of the IT nerds, exactly. Whereas here, people up here, they don't look like, they're like people who have left the IT thing and they moved to Colorado to find themselves in their mansion in Boulder. We get the ex-techies who are like, I just couldn't do it anymore, so I came out here and bought my $3 million ranch with a full staff. And once a week I ride my stallion. My heart feels free. Okay, C-Town. The riddle, like, I don't know if this is a Washington thing, because I've noticed it here, and this is very, like, last 10 years, so I haven't lived in Washington, like, 18 years. What I've noticed is people are like, yeah, we're gonna go for a hike, and they get fucking decked out, like, sometimes even a walking stick, and they're just walking a trail, like a man-made trail by a lake. The word hike has gotten diffused. I don't know what happened. Like, I've been invited on these hikes, and I'm like, okay, if cement's involved, I didn't think that was a hike. Are we hiking? What is happening? Why did we pack snacks? There's a Starbucks right there. But hike, as long as you're moving, I don't give a fuck. Call it whatever you want. Move, get your heart up. MI has pretty low prices for smoke. We got a fuck ton of dispos too. How long has MI been legal? Have they been legal for quite some time now, like established? I don't remember. I know. Well, is the Valley Girl thing just California, or is that a West Coast just like... I don't know. I genuinely wonder. Because I know I have it. My My what is it called? The vocal fry. I know I have it, and I know I do it sometimes, especially when I'm tired and I talk slow. But I've never lived in California a day in my life. Ever. I don't have family in California. Like, I just like totally can do this really well because it's whatever. Oh my God, shut up. Biden did the May the 4th be with you thing and he brought in Luke. Wow. Damn. Damn. No shit. In Cali, it varies so much. You can go to the same place and prices will change like every time you order. Interesting. Do you know why? I didn't know that. Your prices just like on the same exact product change. Is it taxes? That's fucking weird. I mean, Lena, let's be honest. I'm a little skeptical of anyone that fanboys over any politician, period, end of story. Like, we do what we gotta do to keep the orange man out, but politicians are politicians. Shitty. Like, medically legal since 2008, recreationally legal since 2018. Okay, so that's a pretty good amount of time then. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's, you know, it's choosing a shard or a fart. But every once in a while in my lifetime, there's been some politician like Obama or something where people are just like, we love him. And you look them in the eye and ask them why, and they couldn't tell you. A politician's a politician's a politician. Unfortunately. I wish better. I want better. Like, be better. But I mean, the sheer fact that most of them have to become a lawyer before they become a politician, I mean, that says a lot. No offense to my little sister. She's out there listening. She's going to come for me. Cheers. I mean, it's not even a matter of opinion. Like historically speaking, correct me if I'm wrong, but as of a few months ago, Biden's, what is it? His group, his what's the word? Administration. Thank you so much. His administration has accomplished more for our country than any president has in like fucking X amount of years, like a long time. They just don't jerk off about it on Twitter and tweak their nipples in public about it all day. But I've read this, like, I'm pretty sure that still stands, right? His administration has. I never want to say him personally because I'm pretty sure we're all aware that presidents are just the head of a snake. Like, they don't really do much. For the most part. It's the people that work for them, under them, and doing all that shit, right? Yeah. His administration has actually accomplished more things. Like, actually signed more things and done more. Like, you know, as opposed to just talking about it or whatever, or banging your head against a Republican brick wall all day. And that doesn't mean I'm like, oh, Biden. I don't like any politician. They're all shitty. The fact that you want to be a politician makes me judge and make you're sus to me already. But again, we have to choose the chart or the fart. We don't have a fucking, there's no option Z, you know? It's the teams that run the country, right? Yeah. I don't know. I know nothing. This is all just like conjecture from what I experience, read, and take in. I don't know, and what we talk about all day. But that's what it feels like. You know, like, the president's the face of it, and then he's got his administration that actually, like, does things, and he's supposed to talk about it and be the kind of PR for it or whatever. It doesn't count if it's not on Twitter, right? Right? I mean, you kind of wonder sometimes if that's the way people think. It's the U.S. If the U.S. is in better condition now than in many decades, don't believe the negative hype. there's a whole, I mean, the world is on fire, and please don't think I'm ever diminishing any of that. Like, there's bad things happening all the time. But there's this, like, I've been listening to some podcasts on it by psychologists. It's actually really interesting. There's psychology behind there's what is the term for it? It's like doomsdaying. It's what the media has done to us to, make us think things are a lot worse than they are, and they're bad. Again, please don't get me wrong. In no way am I trying to minimize what's going on in the world right now. But there's something to how it compounds in our heads, and we can start to get existentially hopeless and actually depressed, like actually depressed from it. Yeah, the doom scrolling, the 24-hour news cycle, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, it's just people conjecturing on it and just talking about it and thinking about it. But there is something to it. And, if everybody thinks it's that bad, I can't help but wonder if it will actually get worse because of that mentality leading to it or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hell yeah, C-Town. Ice cream's the shit. We learned presidents don't have the power we thought when we had a bad time in Dallas in the 60s. Yeah. I really can't think of a single politician that I can say 100% went into politics solely for civic, social, societal benefit. Yeah, me neither. I've tried. I very much want to be an optimist. I try to be optimistic about that stuff, but for the most part, I think maybe if they're little kids, they start out with like, I'm going to change the world. But to get to the point where you can do anything to change the world, the horrible things you probably have to do, I don't know. My best friend, trans man, wants to be a politician. I don't know what it says about them, to be honest. Do they know? Are we allowed to ask why they want to be a politician? Because I mean, that's kind of like a caveat. Because I kind of understand in terms of wanting to represent an extremely unrepresented community of people who are the target of hate at this current moment for fuck all knows reason. I can kind of, but like, there's a lot more to being a politician than just representing a community. Like, there's the politician part. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really do speeches and shit, Sir Onlin. Not really. I mean, he does like the ones he has to, and he'll speak on things once in a while, but he doesn't really do like ceremonial speeches or anything like that. Really, he only speaks when he has to for the most part. As they are, oh my god, Sugar, no shit. So, Smashley invited me to be a part of this huge stream team that's super cool. A bunch of people that I've known for a bajillion years. And so we're doing St. Jude's. Control Alt Donate is the name of our stream team, which is super dope. And no shit, the chat yesterday, I was like, hey guys, so we're gonna do this charity, and will you help me out with incentive goals? And the chat was like, how about just money? And they just kept throwing money, and I still don't have incentive goals. So like, here we are. But no shit, I'm Cat made the whole team emotes and all of these beautiful graphics for us to use. I don't think she sleeps. I don't know. She's a monster, gremlin that never stops going. But yeah, and it's so amazing. I know like Daniel the Demon and Smash have been doing St. Jude's longer than I have. St. Jude, my first time doing St. Jude's charity was like the year before the COVID shutdown and shit like that. And our team combined, the whole stream team, is almost halfway to a goal of which I didn't know until this morning, $100,000.
Oh my god, what?
Holy shit. But guess what? It's only our charity. Literally, all of us have only been raising money for 3 days, and it's already at $42,664.81. What's with the cents, by the way? Weird, but also, holy shit. The kindness of a stranger. I don't know. Because, like, none of us know personally who we'd be helping. And yet, it's just the fucking dopest shit. But yeah, all of those emotes and everything are from that, and it's just the best. I think wanting to be a politician has to do with idealism. Not a lot of people know about the scummy slime you have to swim through to keep your head above water. Yes. Or I think it's that and like a fantastical view of like, well, it'll be different when I get there. It won't be that corrupt when I get there. Like, people will see me as almost like a narcissism, but I don't want to say that because that sounds bad. Because I kind of admire the blind hope a little bit. Like that, like, we can do it, like, we're just gonna get there, kind of. But then exactly, I was gonna say, you see people like AOC who just get beat down and beat down and beat down and beat down and beat down. Like, for how long does she have to be a real human before she's beat to death? And it's just never ending. And yet Marjorie Taylor Greene thrives. It's fucking disgusting. And I look at that and I'm like, why would I even want to be a part of a system that involves Marjorie Taylor Greene? Regardless of if I agree with her or I'm on her political side, why would I want to be a part of that at all? That means you have to share a space with that bitch. Are you kidding? No, I'm good. Yep, B, and that's that's the one like caveat I could see, because what a you know, deeply underrepresented community, but there's so much more to becoming a politician that I almost wonder it would ruin it ruins a person. Like, just campaigning alone, the money needed to campaign and how you attain that money is pretty gross. St. Jude's pretty awesome. My goodness, they've got to have fundraising burnout sometimes. The sheer amount of money it takes to keep them running, it's crazy. I think that's why they do things like the summit where they bring out streamers and shit like that and other people who raise money, because seeing us get inspired re-inspires them and keeps you going. Because at a certain, I mean, you know, I've talked about this a little bit when I used to work at the hospital, but you can be at the, like, your peak exhaustion, and when there's a child in front of you that's suffering, you will not fall asleep. You will not give up. Nothing stops your body. There's something in you that keeps going. Because there's something like fairly human in our like core DNA, I think, that knows deeply kids shouldn't die. And something freakish goes down that makes it like, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that doesn't happen, because that shouldn't happen. It's gross. I don't want to get too dark, but it's like, I've seen a lot of dead kids, and it's every single time it's something like breaks in your head. It makes you kind of like it doesn't make sense. Your brain cannot. It's almost like looking at an illusion. Your brain can't compute what's happening because it shouldn't. It just shouldn't. That's not the. It's not the cycle of things. You know what I'm saying? And I imagine it's similar when you work for an organization like that. It's like, you might have bad days. You might be exhausted dealing with streamers. My God, can you fuck no? Wouldn't do it for $1 million. But then you look at all the good you do and like the families and the children. I don't know. I imagine it probably helps give you a little bit more oomph, but I don't know. The economy's doing better as businesses make billions. Businesses make billions of dollars price gouging the consumers. Yeah. And that's like, it's weird. Isn't it weird that we kind of judge a little bit, probably myself included, like the health of a nation based on its economy? But like, really, that's just how well the businesses are doing. It's not really like, I don't is that, I don't know. I don't know shit about shit. I kind of understand where their friends are coming from. Like, there's no excuse to be mean to someone when they express a desire to do something that's, I mean, potentially not harmful. Although I haven't seen a politician be not harmful yet. But I kind of see, like, if a friend of mine made a statement like that they wanted to do that, I'd probably get scared because I'd be worried that the process of doing what they want to do would change inherently who they are. And I love who they currently are. And I don't want them to be an evil person, because the ends never justify the means. You know? My rep is Ilhan Omar. Did I say that right? I hope so. He's awesome. She's awesome. Amazingly active in the community. That's actually rare. She's fearless. Oh, I love that. Oh my God, power slop. Anyone notice Marjorie Taylor Greene looks exactly like Ron Perlman in the made-for-TV Beauty and the Beast? Oh, you're not wrong. The biggest problem the U.S. has is everything being raised with this rugged individualism. Yes. Yeah. They've made us afraid of our fucking neighbors. It's like, if you're not independent and you can't do it on your own and you have to ask for help, you're weak. You don't deserve anything. Yeah, it's disgusting. And it feeds into so many other systems in our world. Everyone fends for themselves, and only those that are make it are worth anything. It's heartbreaking to watch. It is. No, it is. You're not worthy if you're not actively contributing in a way that they deem appropriate to society, i.e. money. Yes. I mean, little black dress, bodily autonomy in this economy?
What the fuck? What you asking for here? What do you want? What? Control? Over your... Get out. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for these yokes. Stop yoking. Get the yoke out.
They all become sellouts. Just look at how much they're worth after and before they're a politician. Yeah. I mean, it's hard because, like Bernie, I was a big fan of. I still think he's kind of a decent person sometimes. But, you know, even him, he has, like, mansions. Like, all the people that decide what affordable housing is have multiple mansions. And I have a really hard time. Like, politicians should make minimum wage. Just end of story. End of. That should be just that. Politicians make minimum wage. See what happens. The bootstrap mentality just equates to your boot on someone else's neck. Yes. It's like a massage circle, but boot neck. Shit. It's bullshit. It's stupid. Yeah. When a Big Mac meal was about $3.99 in 2000, it's like $18. It's $18? Why is McDonald's so expensive now? What the fuck? Yeah, I was going to say I could literally go down to Denny's or any diner and eat cheaper and better than that and probably get a milkshake. What the fuck? Why? Are they claiming they have good ingredients or something? Because I don't fucking think so. Would you watch a movie about the term that makes Norway what we are? It's probably not for now, and you obviously don't have to watch the whole thing, but it explains. Dude, absolutely. I love history videos like that. Give it to me and I will save it. Yes. What's the title? No, I love learning about stuff like that. It's so fascinating to me because I'm sure you've heard me talk about it, but in America, at least my education, through college, unless I wanted to pay for it, which I did, I paid to take European history classes, but throughout school, it was basically the Oregon Trail, 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 Pilgrims, the Oregon Trail, the Oregon Trail. And when I graduated school and went to college, I was like, oh, so basically I have to pay to learn about the rest of the world. Sick. And to this day, my geography in my head of the world is shamefully sad. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing borderline. Seriously. And it's just, when I think back on it, there was not. We just didn't get it. It was like, no, we have to pound into you that Sacagawea wanted to go with Lewis and Clark, and she really liked being fucked by those white men and leaving her entire tribe. That was her favorite. Like, that's all I got. Which is not real. But that's seriously, from what I remember, that's all I got is, like, that was history class. Over and over and over and over again. Like, I learned about the Alamo as an adult in college. Or, like, the riots. I learned about those in college. Like relatively recent historical American things, I had to pay a lot of money to learn, which is wild. And again, this is before the internet and shit, where we were just had way more access to information. Like, I feel like nowadays, especially with YouTube and stuff, I accidentally stumble into really cool wormholes of just like historical podcasts or something, or information that I just never knew that is absolutely pertinent American history stuff that, like, it's probably something we did fucked up, so they don't want to talk about it. And I'm envious of this generation how they can stumble across that shit. Because as a kid, unless your parents said it or your teacher said it, how the fuck would you even know to... what would you... Oh. It's weird. I can't even remember what I did. An encyclopedia, mayhaps? This guy has Norwegian roots and loves to learn about everything Norwegian. He's an American YouTuber that learns while Ooh, I love that. That's sick. I have an aunt who lives in Norway. She's very tall. Okay, I got it. Did I get it? Yes. Okay. No, I love that shit. There are some people that think history is boring, even with that access. Well, I was that person. No shit. I remember saying it, like, my sister got a degree in history, and I remember saying, like, yeah, Sarah's the history buff. I hate history. Like, I just don't care. And that was because the only history I knew about or was exposed to was the goddamn Oregon Trail. Over and over and over again, and I was fucking brain dead. And once I went to college and I was like, just trying to fill electives, I saw there was a European history class. And I was like, that looks fun. And then I had to learn how to spell Reykjavik, and I fucking regretted everything. But that sent me off on, then I took Russian and learned Russian and kept taking European history classes. Because it was like learning about a fantasy world. That's what it felt like. It felt like finding the Tolkien series for the first time. It was like, sure, I knew there was a chunk of land to the east of England, but I kind of just thought it was all Russia. And that is sad. I was in charge of human lives, my dudes. Like, no child should graduate high school just think with that. That's not it. Like, I was in my 20s when I learned that Georgia, there's an original one in Eastern Europe, Georgia. There's two. That shouldn't happen. What the fuck? And I had traveled. And it's embarrassing because you're like, this is my planet, for fuck's sake. McDonald's says it's due to the increased wages. I call absolute bullshit, and I'm sure you do too, because I was just going to say, In-N-Out's starting at 15 to 17 and only increase their prices less than 25 cents. I was just going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, In-N-Out does all local ingredients, right? Or tries to. So all their restaurants source locally, yeah? So get the fuck out with your excuses, McDonald's. Also, McDonald's is an enormous conglomerate that's been around forever and probably has bajillions of dollars due to that fucking monopoly scam, right? Don't even. Get out. This shows how much I eat fucking McDonald's. I'm a Taco Bell girl if I'm going to go trashy, let's be honest. We share a border with Russia, thankfully not a long one. It's actually pretty alarming when you look at like a realistic globe of the earth, and you see how close Russia is to Alaska. Like, you can't see Russia off your back porch, Sarah Palin, but it's close as fuck, man. I mean, that's not that much of a venture. Ignorance is a gift means you can learn shit. Abso-fucking-lutely, Mandel. Thank you for that resub, by the way. I could not fucking agree. I love learning. That's what I'm saying. I love those wormholes where I just fall down a YouTube tunnel and now I know about the history of the Alamo. Like, I didn't know that. And that's fucking disgusting. That makes me embarrassed. This is my country, and it's a pretty significant recent thing. Like, I should know these things. And it's just, I had to sit and play a game for an hour and listen to a YouTube podcast to learn about it, and then go down a tunnel and learn even more about it. But I'm jealous because honestly, maybe if I was a kid, I would have lost my life to this. What up, Dark Plateau? How are you? I probably would have never left my house. Isn't Wendy's contemplating surge pricing? Oh, I don't remember if it was Wendy's. Was it? There was some restaurant who brought up the idea of surge pricing and immediately rolled back because the world was like, you really think we like you that much? I can't remember who it was, though. Who was it? Was it Wendy's? Boom, it was. Yeah. They rolled back on it, correct? I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, because I heard like Philip DeFranco and shit talking about it, and they're like, really? There ain't no fast food that's that special, my dudes. My parents were homegrown terrorists from the SLA in the 70s. I grew up with a lot of anti-government and capitalist talking points. Damn, dude. What was that like? Are they still like that? Our school system is set up to keep us dumb. Standardized testing is horrible. Just look at I know. I was the very last graduating class in Washington State to not have to do standardized testing and pass it or anything. It was just, they just had us do it for no reason. But we were the last class that they didn't teach to standardized testing. And I still didn't get a fucking education. God knows what it is now. Learn how to fill in a bubble? Absolutely none of the corporate price hikes are due to economic pressure. You can't have a multi-billion-dollar revenue stream and be hurting for money if you have an ounce of sense. Thank you. That was what I was trying to say about McDonald's. Like, there's no fucking way. In-N-Out does not use frozen meat, all fresh. They even cut the fries into press with actual potatoes. Yep, that's what I thought. So they're going. I mean, there's no fucking way. I mean, McDonald's is stupid. Small business raises prices for those reasons. A corporation does it. Doesn't in this stage of capitalism. Yes. Yeah. Agreed. That just seems it reminds me of when Xbox, this was years ago now. God, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. When Xbox was coming out, I think it was with the Xbox One, and they're like, yeah, but you won't own any of your games, and you can't play anything unless you have the internet. I haven't bought an Xbox since. I don't know about y'all, but I became Team PlayStation really quickly. And then they went back on it and they were like, we're so sorry. We didn't realize that the vast majority of the world doesn't have access to perfect, internet. I don't remember what kind of internet we were on those days. Fiber. Was fiber even a thing? I don't remember how long ago this was. Time is weird now. But, I still have a poopy taste in my mouth for Xbox because of that. It's just so tone deaf and stupid. Brand, I think it started before. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think the shit with our education system started before No Child Left Behind, but No Child Left Behind was like shit on the shit. It was like 2 girls, no cup. That's what I've been led to believe, but I was really young. I was like in middle school or something when that was going down, so I don't remember. The removal of critical thinking classes across the U.S. makes me worried about Gen Z Alpha. I mean, I don't remember having a critical thinking class. Problem solving? Thinking individually? God forbid. The one time I was ever sent to the principal's office was because I was right and my teacher was wrong and she was embarrassed. You guys don't have an In-N-Out yet, C-Town? That's actually shocking. Oh, the dead one, not so much. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that sucks. That's a rough call. Plus, open super late, which is everything. When it comes to greasy burgers, Rallies, Checkers will always have my clogged heart. I've never had a Checkers before. I've seen them, though. I think there's one there's one around Seattle. I don't know. All of the cities around Seattle are so big, they just melt into each other, and I honestly don't know where I am anymore. Anywhere from Mukilteo to Seattle. There's one in there, I think. I've seen one, but I don't think I've had one. Checkers is amazing. Oh, I might have to look for. I don't know if we have one here. An Indigenous People's History of the United States. I used it to homeschool my kid. It's brilliantly stark in how it retells our history. No, but wait. I have a really cool American history book, but it's not that one, so I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. In an Indigenous People's History. I love that. That's the history I mean, I will say, of all the trashing I've just done of my education, where's my little book? Oh, there it is. I guess it's not really a compliment or anything to the education system. I did have the fortune to be raised halfway on, I was raised half of my childhood on an Indian reservation. I know a lot of people are like, don't call them Indians. They call themselves Indians and asked me to call them Indians, so I don't know what to do. Natives. The Ichilium tribe. There you go. But I grew up on the reservation, and that, every time you go to the corner store to get a gallon of milk, you're gonna get a new lesson as to how America actually happened. I don't know how else to put that. I've told you guys about my what did I call her? She was like my oracle, and she was quite literally addicted to, I think, meth or something, and just melted into a mattress in this trailer with a lot of dead cars around it. But me and my friends would go and we would sit around her in a circle, and she would spread her wisdom of the world, and it was real. It was just real history. I didn't know she was on drugs. I learned this way later. She was very melty. But I feel like that was something formative that I got. I wasn't just raised around the pure, the white version, I guess. Oh my God, Viata, yes. I still think Baskin Robbins is the best. I never see them anywhere, but they're good. I always C-Town. That's the way I ask. Like, I mean, seriously, do you prefer Indian? Do you prefer Native? Do you want to be called Ichilium? What do you want? But to this day, they still refer to themselves as Indians. So like, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. It's just what I grew up with and what they still are calling themselves. They call themselves much worse, but I ain't gonna fucking go there. One of the wildest things to me is that a frankly massive number of corporations receive state or federal subsidies on top of the money they get from their consumers as well. Never trust a corporation to tell the truth when they're double dipping. 100%. Oh yeah. I mean, look at all the people that pulled out loans when COVID hit. Like, God, there was these loans that were like for businesses so they don't go under. It was like billions of dollars, $2 billion corporations that absolutely had no risk of going under ever. It was ridiculous. Down here in LA, the fast food places are either doing really well, In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, wonder how that homophobia tastes, McDonald's, or they're empty all the time, running on a skeleton crew, barely staying afloat. That's really sad. Every time I've gone to California, I feel like California is one of those places that has like your own micro franchises of taco fast food joints. I don't know how else to put that. It's like not a Taco Bell, it's not a Taco Star or whatever. But it's definitely a chain, but you will get off the fucking shit good fast Mexican food in there. Like, you know, handmade tortillas and shit. And that breaks my heart cuz that means they're probably going to go away. Did they play at Trump's inauguration? That's hilarious. In a gross way. I didn't know that. C-Town 100%. Yeah, I think like I know I always quote Viata on this one, but the path of least harm, voting for the least harm, whatever, is always what I'll take. So if any Romani person is like, hey, there's a majority of us who really don't like the word gypsy, I'm just not going to use that word. Unless in the unfortunate case it's your name, because I do know a few people who are actually named that on their fucking birth certificate, and that sucks. But like, you know, if it's going to hurt anyone, why risk hurting somebody when we have better language we can use? Romani is a prettier word. I love Romani. It's gorgeous. I love that. I'll say that. Let me roll my R's. Let's fucking go. I can't do that with the other one. I get it with the naming thing. The one thing that drives me crazy is when I'm called Spanish, Latino, or Hispanic, por favor. We spent a century trying to get rid of those bastards. In the end, all it took was Cuban rednecks with machetes was all it took. Yeah. I bless my parents. They're getting old, I guess. I don't know, but I deal with that shit with them. Like my mom will say things like, I love when they speak Mexican to us or things like that. And I'm like, oh, you gotta stop. Or she'll say things like, well, the Spanish conquistadors mated with the Aztecs. And I'm like, oh, Mom, it wasn't. You can't just say people mated. I'm pretty sure it was rape. You have to stop now. Oh. And I know it's probably this antiquated fucking whatever, but my sister and I always say something. Like, I can't. I'm like, no, you can't stop. No. Absolutely not. That's not how it happens. You must stop. History of the indigenous people's history. An indigenous people's history of the United States. That's what it is. Pen. I'm writing this down because otherwise I'm a space cadet. I'm stuck. That was, oh man, on the same topic, one of the weirdest things about moving to the East Coast, and this is again just living, like I'm sure anyone that lives on the West, I think it's West Coast specifically. I haven't lived a lot of places in the middle, but like living in Washington specifically, especially if you live on the West Coast of Washington, a lot of the history that wasn't Oregon Trail was very much of the indigenous people. Like we knew all the tribes. We knew the history of Chief Seattle. Like, we knew all the tribes, and there's still totem poles, and we would take, like, field trips to go see these really cool, like, Indian ruins and stuff like that, native ruins, and ruins, and you just, like, we knew them, and then when I moved to the East Coast, I remember I went on a little walk on this, like, I guess it was a hike, it was a pretty rough trail, like a biking trail kind of thing up into the woods, and I found, like, a really, like, it looked like an Indian graveyard. Like, it was a really fucking dilapidated old graveyard in the middle of nowhere. And I asked the person I was with, I can't remember who it was, who I was hiking with, like, oh, do you know what kind of tribes are in this area? No fucking idea. No one had any idea. Because my dog's just farted so bad it's death. Are you dying? No one had any fucking idea. And it's no shade. It's not like they even knew to know. I was raised on an Indian reservation, so it's really normal to grow up with that kind of culture and learn about their history. But that's it. They were obliterated on that side of the country before anybody thought to maybe pay it, like, you know what I mean? Like, no one thought to be like, hey, what's your tribe and culture before slaughtering them or giving them a blanket or something. We got a KFC last year. It was the first new fast food we gotten in 5-ish years, so it spent months just mobbed. That happened to my taco time when I was in high school, and it was shitty as fuck, but we made so much money. Tacoma, it depends on where you live. For the most part, I would say, like, affordable, middle class, you're probably going to have some meth heads in your neighborhood. It's not, I wouldn't. But here's the thing. There's this weird, like, North Seattle, South Seattle, like, I was born North Seattle. All my family's North Seattle, so I'm North Seattle. South Seattle, it's kind of dirty. There's the Tacoma aroma on top of that. This is just factual. There's like a pulp mill in Tacoma, and the town almost 24/7 smells like farts. Which I guess you get used to, but everyone coming to visit you is not used to it. So they're just going to think your house smells like farts. Exactly. I don't know the name of the street. It's almost like Sprague in Spokane. If you live anywhere near Spokane and you know Sprague, there's a similar, like, exact cross street where suddenly it goes from, people like you and I that can afford normal homes, but it's a city and they're really expensive, and so it's going to be very trashy and you're probably going to have a lot of problems, to just, like, billion-dollar townhouses and stuff. Like, across the street. It's wild. There's definitely, like, a kind of a rich, like, but I feel like most cities have unfortunately drifted to be like that. If I was going to live anywhere on the west coast of Washington State, I'd live in one of the surrounding, like, suburb cities, like Snohomish, Monroe. Federal Way is not the worst. It's like Tacoma Light. If you want to be South Seattle, that's not the worst. Yeah, Snohomish, Monroe, Lake Stevens, I think. But Lake Stevens has gotten really fucking expensive, I think. I don't think that's even attainable anymore. Anywhere near the water is just, like, crazy expensive. It's wild. I don't know if it's Amazon money or it's Microsoft, but the prices of housing out there, it's unattainable. Like, it's crazy. It's just, a farmhouse is going to be $500,000 to $800,000. It's crazy. The waterfront is just asinine. Yeah, it's wild. Oh, God. Yep. We have words like that, Lena. No shit. There's a term that I still hear people use today, and I don't even want to say it. I'm trying to think of a way to even indicate it. It starts with a C and ends with a D, and my mom will say it sometimes, like, those blanks. And I'm like, and it's not in a negative way. She's not meaning it, but she will not accept or attempt to change her goddamn internal dialogue to realize that that is inappropriate. Or she'll say things like, the blacks. I'm like, I always say something. I'm like, you gotta, I know you're not intentionally meaning to be mean right now, but you gotta stop. And I know you can. I know you're an educated human. I know you are. You're still working PRN in the hospital, for fuck's sake. But we have language like that here where it's like, and I'm sure you hear this as well, but at least my parents and our grandparents, and I've heard a lot of people in chat say the same thing, they love to use the excuse like, oh, it's just their era, or that's just how they were raised, or that's just how they talked back then. And it's like, okay, that was 30 years ago. Are you saying that they're so fucking stupid that 30 years isn't enough time to consciously try not to be a racist fuck? Or just try to speak like one? Or not speak like one? Because that's kind of what you're saying. Yeah. Fucking grow up. Yeah. Agree hard. The way I speak changes from probably month to month. God, we're all picking up weird words like bop and shit all the time. Vernacular changes constantly. You're doing it on purpose. And it's like the thing, Glut tweeted this one time and it was so good. It was like, silence is something. God, what did he say? It was like, not saying something is saying something. Something along those lines. Actively choosing not to change your language and change the way you're acting and claiming you're not a racist or whatever, those are not, you're actively choosing not to change the way you speak. That's something. That's an active choice. That's not a passive choice, in my opinion. Because, you and I we've talked about this before. I'm sure all of us used horrible words like gay as a slur, retard as a slur for years. Not even, and seriously, I've thought about it so hard. I never even thought to stop and think, like, what are these words actually? Like, what am I saying? It was like dude, sweet, like, it was just words that were part of vernacular you never even thought of, and yet we were just making an entire population of human beings feel like absolute trash with our ignorance. And instead of riding the ignorance train, I chose to okay, I'm going to own up to it and try not to use those words, because I don't want people going around calling others bipolar just because they don't like them. That would make me feel bad. Or, when people throw OCD around. Like, do you know how much OCD sucks? I don't want people to do that, so why would I do that? Well, how is that fucking fair? Choosing not to decide is still making a choice. Yes. That. It can apply to I think that exact phrase so often. Like, that's implanted in my mind because it can be applied to so many different areas of our world. You know what I mean? That choice for inaction, or the choice to do absolutely fuck all about a behavior of yours that is universally frowned upon and is making people feel bad. At the end of the day, it's making people feel bad. You're making a population of people feel bad. Why? Why are you doing that on purpose? You're a jerk. Yep, everything was gay. Everything I disliked. My little sister has handwritten letters I wrote her when I was in college, and every other thing I hate. Math is gay. Everything's retarded. That I hand wrote these things. It's disgusting. Reading them now, it's filth to me. Like, it's so nauseating. But I chose to change. I firmly believe anybody can. And there's nothing wrong with, learning. For fuck's sake. Like, I've seen people go after people. They're like, well, you tweeted 17 years ago, and then you changed. And it's like, so what do you want then? Where do you win? What is the goal? Don't you want people that have terrible thought process to maybe change? Isn't that a good thing? Shouldn't that be fucking celebrated? Like, hey, look how far you've grown mentally from making this horrific transphobic comment 17 years ago to today. That should be celebrated. And yet, people will dig out this shit and be like, no, you were different once. And it's like, oh, maybe we should pay attention to people like J.K. Rowling who are just actively anti-trans. Or maybe just people like that. Like, I don't know, just a fucking idea. Yeah, well, it's like they almost don't want to change. Is this a song? Hold on. It's such a weird thought to not want to change. It really is bizarre to me. Well, this song's almost over. I feel that way about the ADHD people minimize it by referring to themselves as having it when they just mean they feel scattered or have a hard time focusing. Yes. Those things are a part of ADHD, but there's so much more to it. Yeah. Zach and I joke about stuff like that all the time because I see those ADHD memes that are like the jokey ones, someone pointing out ADHD like some hyperactive kid, and then there's the realistic ones where it's like what it actually feels like in your brain, like the nonstop just of just 50 conversations going off at once and trying to listen to the person in front of you at the same time because you really, really want to. Like they're not boring. Nothing is wrong here, but you've got 50 conversations going on in the back of your head. Like it's kind of 24/7 torture a little bit, and people make light of a lot of neurodivergencies though, I think. Like a lot. A child of a friend called something gay near me. He spent the next 10 minutes trying to explain that the middle of a restaurant. Oh my, no. Trying to explain it? Oh man, they doubled down on that one. Bless. Nah, dude. I mean, if any of my nieces ever did anything like that, which thankfully they haven't because they're not raised with hate like that I'm aware of. Um I think it's important to catch it when they're younger like that and kind of absolutely not inappropriate. I don't know. Like the doubling down is the worst. Yeah. When it's like, you know, man, like what do you this we're not fighting. There's no winning here. You are being harmful with your language. And I'm informing you. Now's your chance to make a choice. Yay! Now's your chance to make a choice. Are you going to continue forthwith being a fucking harmful chud? Or are you going to use your brain and maybe be more inventive with your language? There's so many words out there we could use to describe things we don't like, or love, or want to fuck that have nothing to do with a marginalized community of human beings. Call me crazy. Hi, Bubba. You look adorable. Viata just gave us $50 for our charity. I'm sorry I screamed in your face, but I was excited. He's... It's whatever, Bob. Fucking Viata just gave us $50 to charity to help children in St. Jude's and their families and all of the above. It's so many things. Seriously, I would never stop talking if I listed all of the things that St. Jude did for kids, but I fucking appreciate you. Thank you. I would disown teenage to 24-ish me. I feel like way too many of my fellow Gen Xers have forgotten how utterly stupid we could be. Shit we did because we grew up before everything being posted everywhere. 100%. Same with me. I mean, camera phones didn't exist till I was in college. That didn't exist. We had texts and Snake. But none of that. And I think back on that all the time. Like, and I'm sure, you know how our parents and our grandparents, when we were young, children respected their elders. Our generation, when we were young, we didn't fuck around and send nudes to our gentleman friend. Mm-hmm. I'm sure we all have one or two dirty Polaroids we hope never are found. Kids are kids are kids. Our kids are kids are kids are kids. And just because it's not recorded doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's annoying that people refuse to let you change. I've gotten more liberal as I've gotten older. Same, actually, myself. I'm vastly more accepting of people today than I've ever been. For all that I have trouble interacting with people, I can't fathom why people want to be better, and yet weren't living in the middle of a culture war. And we're living in the middle of a culture war where morally and ethically bankrupt. Yes. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, is it they want you to think they're better than you without actually doing anything to better themselves in any way, shape, or form? It's like people who want to look clean versus people who are clean. Like some people just douse themselves in perfume every morning and put mascara over the mascara, over the mascara, over the mascara, over the mascara, and finger the smegma out of their fucking foreskin or chip it away or whatever. And then some people just take a fucking shower and maybe put their hair in a messy bun because the shower took up some time. But you know what? I'm clean. Ha, Bubba. You're clean. You're a clean boy. Oh, thank you. Be mad at people that won't change and help people who are changing and keep changing. Exactly. And you bring up a really good point. Like, if we villainize people who maybe had a negative opinion at one point and have changed, if we villainize them for having that opinion at one point, what's going to encourage people to want to change at all? Like, what's the point to them? If people are going to judge them by something that a tweet or whatever a million years ago. I keep using that example, but I can't really think of another one. But you know what I mean? I think there's a way to actively change in most cases. In 10 years, something's we're saying today is going to be horrible to us. Yes, very much so. And as long as seriously, I think about this. As long as we as a people are willing to acknowledge and change, that's human nature. is to get, I mean, if how do I word this? If in 20 years we don't look back to today and think like, oh wow, we were using some questionable language and being a little offensive, then that means we didn't change for the fuck all. What a terrifying time. That means we did nothing. We made no growth. And I'd much rather get more towards a society where we stop with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about that in terms of like gendered language and people dead naming each other and shit like that, or making jokes about the trans community. Like, I hope gendered language and that kind of shit just kind of starts to erode because it's hyper unrealistic and so man-made. Work call I had to wait 2 hours for. It took me 20 minutes. Video. I don't know what to do. Ice cream? That's some fucking shit, dude. Oh man, dude, curmudgeon. It was similar for us, but it was the dawn of Facebook. I remember Facebook hookups were a big thing. Like, no shit, it's so weird to think back on it. But my freshman year of college, I think, was when Facebook went up for the first time. But you had to have a college email address to join because it was originally just for college kids or whatever. And you could search out colleges. So, like, my friends would look for colleges in Seattle, and it was, oh, Facebook. Yep, this was the thing. There was it was like a code. You would poke someone and then wait for a poke back. I don't even know if Facebook still does this. Does Facebook still poke? I have no idea. This is old Facebook days. I haven't used Facebook in many years, but it was a thing. So if you found someone you liked, you poked them, and then they would poke you. And this was the days where you couldn't see someone's like profile or anything unless you were friends, but you could DM, I think. If I remember correctly, like a little DM box would pop up from your browser, whatever. And if you received a poke back, then it was acceptable to send a friend request and or a DM. And it was constant. People driving down to Seattle just to fuck. Because Bellingham was a small town. I mean, it's a decent town, but in terms of the college and everything, like after your freshman year, you'd fucked what you wanted to. There was nothing left. The fucking pokes, man. It was a thing. I fucked a few pokes. I'm not gonna deny it. I was part of the problem. But it was like unspoken. It wasn't a dating service or anything. It was like unspoken but realized, like, hey, would you like to come down this weekend? There's a football game, meant come down after the football game and fuck. It was a fun problem, but I mean, as with all things, some people took it to the extreme. So like many times there would be someone who would find me on Facebook and they would just every morning poke, 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 poke with no response. They just never. And I was haunted by it because I'm like, what if I see them on campus? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to poke me in real life? Oh, man, the pokes. It was a real thing. Yeah, getting upset about pronouns. It's all about respect and treating people with respect. Like someone wanting to be called sir or ma'am. Yep. And being open to being like corrected for fuck's sake. Like if you call someone ma'am and they're actually, I'd prefer if you called me sir. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Have we hurt anyone? No, I've been corrected. I've learned and I'm better now. Great. Let's move on. Like was that difficult? It was a fun problem. I mean, you're not wrong. Mildly dangerous, but fun. But fun. People out here poking on Facebook. Yep. It was, I mean, there was something about like it was like a false security in Facebook, to be honest, because you were like, they're all college students. They're all my age. So they're all safe. Because the internet's dangerous, but college students are good. And as long as you have a college email, which no one can fake or plagiarize, then you can use Facebook. So as long as it's fine, it's safe. Sickening. It makes me ill when I think of my thought processes as a youth. Sometimes, like, no shit. It's like, Holy God on a dick fuck. You were an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. God damn. Football and fuck became Netflix and chill. Holy shit, you're right. Yes. Yep, I went to many a football game I gave exactly 0 fucks about. But did I absolutely maybe leave a few bobby pins in a few bedrooms down at UW? Sure. Yes, I did. Agreed, I had a nurse practitioner who put me through the ringer for telling her the medications they had on me weren't working. And I'm like, my anxiety attacks last for an hour at the least, usually hours. I actually took medication that fucked up my guts for years. Oh, God, ouch. Facebook safe. I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm sure you can identify with this, C-Town, but I absolutely was an era of children. I guess because I know my siblings were the same. We've talked about it, where it's like my parents, it was the birth of the internet, and my mom was absolutely instilled in me. Everyone on the internet is a rapist, a pedophile, a child molester, and out to kill you. Everyone. And because kid minds are stupid and black and white in autopilot, if you don't tell them otherwise, my mind went to, well, everyone in real life is safe then. Crazy. Now I am an internet person. Fuck. Like some of the best people I've ever had in my life I met on the internet, for fuck's sake. Side note, have Tinder and Uber ever had a partnership? I feel, oh my God, if a date showed up with food, I'd be much likely to suck a dick. Just saying. Evelyn, I'm not kidding you when I say at least half of the devs that work at ZOS all met their significant others on oh God, I just blanked on the game. EverQuest. All of them. It's the cutest shit ever, and they'll tell their story to you, and it's just, I love hearing their stories. But seriously, all of them have a story where one person lived like in Canada on one side of the country, and the other person lived on the other side of the country, and they talked in VoIP for like 8 years playing WoW before they ever had an inkling of like, hey, do you want to touch my no-nos? Maybe. And then they like, one of them flew across the country, and now they like are in their 40s and 50s and have children and shit. It's crazy. It's this. I love their stories so much because they're case in point of people who didn't listen to that goddamn rhetoric where it's like, everyone on the internet's the devil. The devil's everywhere. Anyone can be evil. Anybody. BTK was a goddamn Cub Scout leader. Stop. But I like their stories because they're cute. It's be safe, obviously. Like, don't be flying across the country to strangers' houses, but like, be safe. But their stories are precious. Uber Eats, get ready for Uber Skeets. Shut the fuck. I mean, legalized sex work, and we've got a thing. I can't wait till we're bots. Give me my bot parts. The telephone and rubber band in the backseat sample in the backing samples. I haven't heard that for years, and I have the CD. This is just on Spotify, dude. Treat the internet like it's April Fool's Day. Always question. Yeah, agreed. 100%. Don't be stupid. Don't ever be 100% trusting anywhere. I mean, that's so sad, but like, unless you're alone in your bedroom with some padlocks. Yeah, that's all these devs are married with kids and shit. I love it so much. 2 of my best friends met via WoW. He moved to Sweden for her, and they've got 2 kids. My favorite story. Yep, I know many couples who have done that, and I love it so much. Because it goes to show, I mean, really, if you think about it, if it wasn't for the advent of the internet and Twitch very specifically, I wouldn't know Zach. We did not live in the same state. I was in Baltimore, and he was in fucking Montana. Would have never, ever. Like, all the dick we have reach for these days is what I'm saying. The reach has spread our webs. I'm dicking in my spider webs. So leave a message and I'll dick you down. Cheers. Oh my God, does it still exist? I really hope it does. That picture was legendary. I met my best friends via the internet. Meanwhile, my brother's best friend in high school SA'd me because no one, including myself, thought a 21-year-old hanging out alone with a 15-year-old was off. Yep. I mean, you know as well as you don't need to watch as much true crime as I do to know the statistics of who's going to get essayed and who's not. 9 times out of 10 it's someone you know. For me it was a brother. For you it was a brother's friend. Like it gets I think it's like a lie they want to tell themselves for this false sense of security. Like, if we just think it's just the internet is where all the weirdos are, then no one can touch us IRL. And it's like, that is so fucked up. Because that's how you get little kids in rooms with creepy men alone who are like, it's real life. They've got to be safe. And that's fucking gross. Cheers, Slipsis. I need a little bowl. I think we need to take a break because my Bubba's here. Sticking his head in the dangerous fucking arm of my chair. I don't want to crush your neck, bud. You're just the cutest boy. You've got the cutest neck. Why would I do that? Want to hang out? Hi, Bubba. Did you slay a dragon? You're so cute. Is it? Okay. You're such a good boy. I know, Bob. Man, if it was just my butt, I wouldn't even mind because it's all squish. It's this, he knows shit. He likes to stick his head between this and my desk, like my wooden desk. And if I just turn this chair, I mean, I know I play too many video games and I watch a lot of horror, but my worst fear is just his neck snapping off or something. It makes me really nervous. You're nerve-wracking, bud. You're very cute, though. What are you doing? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? You want to go potty? Go outside. Okay, let's go. Okay, oh my god. Okay, break time. I think he needs to shit. Every couple of hours, we take a break. We stand up. We stretch our legs. We load bowls. We get some water. You do you, boo boo. I'll be right back. Fucking A, man. Which ear are you? But I'm showing you the door. Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. Baby. I love him. I know. One of those just taken so early, man. You just think about where he would have gone with his career. Like, talk about a pop king. I mean, oh, I get hot just thinking about it. But there's this, I'm sure you saw it popping up on my stream yesterday, but like this little fucking child star named JoJo Siwa keeps popping up everywhere. And I saw some clip of her on Instagram saying she wants to invent gay pop. And I just... Bitch, who do you think made pop? That's a quote. I'm not kidding. She says she's gone from like child star to now trying to be dangerous or something. And I'm not kidding, says, no one has ever done this before, made such a drastic change from child star to adult star. And I'm like, I don't even know if you were born when Britney shaved her head, but like, bitch. I know. It makes me hot because I'm like, do you think gays were just someone? I know. Should someone tell her? Like, hello? And she was one of those little girls on one of those dance shows, like Dance Moms or something. I don't know. I never watched any of them. One of those reality shows. And so she's trying to transition to singer, and that's her like danger move or some shit. And she's gay, I guess. But like, I feel like you're out of touch with the community if you think you're inventing. I mean, I can't even say it. Inventing gay pop. Bitch, what? There are no words. It's so dumb. And it's like, I think she's in a place of like rich. I mean, I have no idea who this person is. It's just a couple clips I've seen of her. And I think she's in a place of like privilege and rich where no one can say like, "Oh, honey," to her, and so she just is gonna gets to make a fool of herself, which is a little sad because I think she's only like 20. She's a fetus. I'm not kidding. She keeps saying she wants to have her Miley Cyrus era or something. Like she compares herself to Miley. I know. My butthole is so cringy for it. It's like there's a lot more. Is music? Oh, thank you. There's so much more. Bitch, you ain't Miley. Like, stop. You know what I don't know. Thank you. Better. Yeah, it's what a delusional child. And as a gay, I heard a part of her song, and it's not good. You didn't do it. This ain't the mark. Like at least you could copy a little Kylie Minogue or something. I don't know. It's good to me. I love this song. Move. Let's try to move my Spotify over. You can't chase waterfalls. I don't care if it's good, but you can't, dude. How have I never thought of that before? What the fuck what is chasing waterfalls? How dare you? Okay, I understand but you're right, and I hate you for it. Like, I get it, but also. You can't. They are technically fucking stationary. Yeah, like, we all know the metaphor, but like. I seen a rainbow yesterday with too many stars. I won't do it. I'm sorry. I know the rap, though. Who doesn't? You know the radio cuts it out. It breaks my heart every time. Like, let's just completely eliminate Left Eye then. Cheers. Rest in peace, you flaming lady. Right? And that's the metaphor of it, right, Sronlin? Like, I'm pretty positive that's the metaphor is like stick to the safe. You don't need to look for danger. Stop looking for danger. May the 4th be with you. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you guys. So Zach and I actually completely forgot about it. I was telling you guys before I started my sneezing attack earlier. But like months ago, he bought us tickets to go to a Star Wars themed burlesque show tonight. And we didn't remember until like 2 days ago. We were like, oh, by the way. So tonight, we get to go see a burlesque show, and I'm really excited. Loading a bowl. This song is iconic. I know it drives a lot of people crazy because you've probably overheard it. It's probably been way overplayed in the world, but fuck me sideways if it's not one of the most iconic songs. I love that song. It's so beautiful. Oh no shit, a new short. Who's it following? The new show. Go ass to ass on a double-ended lightsaber, dude. I'm trying to think of what the show is called. It's like a Star Wars pun. They do shows all the time, but we just happen to be going on May the 4th. They look hot as fuck. I haven't heard the word iconic in a very long time, but it might be among certain circles. I can see how that, like, almost like the word literally. Like, if everything's iconic, nothing's iconic. If everything's literal, nothing's literal. Like, if you say literally all the time, are you just not literal all the other times? Really? I can see how it absolutely be overused. Yeah, I could see that. What a gamer, how are you? Imagine if they went ass to ass. Stop it. Okay, anyways, so I was trying to think of something to do. My back is fucking killing me, like the head swivel between my monitors. I haven't played Hades in 5 million years, and I had a jonesing to play Hades today, which is also there's a needle on my desk, also full of amazing music. But I thought we could do that until I have to go and bathe myself and get ready to go to a burlesque show. I agree. Thank you for your fucking enthusiasm. Thank you for the donation to our charity. I really appreciate you. The team charity is already halfway to 100,000. It's fucking sick. Our communities combined, seriously, it's like Power Rangers or some shit. It's amazing. I know. I love Hades. It's disgusting. I have how many hours in it? Too many. I haven't played in a very long time though, and that's kind of another reason I wanted to play. I haven't played in forever, and the last time I played, I started a new game with you guys, but because I'd been playing on my established Hades game for so goddamn long, I was like so used to the speed that as you level, you know, you get really fast and you start getting better. That I was I'm terrible at this, like being a new player, like starting a new game. So I feel like I haven't played for such a long time now that maybe I'll be okay with the new playthrough. Like I won't be terrible because maybe I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I hope so. Oh, good luck on that. The Tales of the Empire, a vengeful young woman and a former Jedi navigate the ruthless galactic empire during different eras, their divergent choices shaping their fates in a rapidly changing galaxy. Interesting. Dude, Dead Cells is incredible. I'm a big, whatever you want to call that, the style of game, like, is it roguelite? I fuck them up. It's roguelite and then rogue something. There's two different rogue whatevers. And I love that style. Like, Hollow Knight's another one that's really good. Roguelite. Roguelike, yeah, there's roguelike and light. But the Hades, roguelite and roguelike, yeah. They're just like, you know, you die, but it's kind of part of the game progression thing. So fucking good. There was another really good one we played. Oh god, what was it called? It's got the little Reaper with a cup of coffee on the cover of it. It's like this adorable little Reaper guy. It's like Death. Oh god. It was so good. What was that one called? I played the fuck out of it. Cult of the Lamb's really good, but not that one. Oh, hold on. Death something. It's got to be on my Steam stuff. Not Death Coming. Nope. Maybe it's not Death's Door. Have a Nice Death. Have a Nice Death, Mike. Yes. Have a Nice Death. If you haven't played Have a Nice Death, such a fucking good game. I played the living crap out of it. I think actually more stuff has been added since I played it. Like it's probably a little different now. Honestly, I haven't played it in so fucking long, but man, is it good. Risk of Rain. Yep. Also, there was another one that had rain in the title, but you were like a little white slug with cat ears. Was that Risk of Rain? Am I thinking of the same one? Or Rain? Oh god. I love them though. I don't know. Dead Cells is amazing. Dead Cells, I think, was the first of this type of game I'd ever played. Because there's the one I'm talking about. There's a second one that's like something. It's like Rain Downpour. I want to say it was literally just called Rain. I could just look it up. Hold on. I was going to open the game. Don't open yet. Hold on. Rain. Oh, bitch. Rain World. Rain World. If you never played Rain World, oh my god, it's hard. It's more like Meat Boy ish. What would you call that? Like a platformer? This one. And they have a second one, but you play this adorable little slug guy. I don't know what he is, to be honest. But this was a really good one. And they've come out, I want to say they came out with the second one, or it's coming out. Downpour? Did it come out? Did it happen? Oh, it's just DLC. Just kidding. This one, oh man. I might have to whip it out again then. It's really fun. It's super hard though. In terms of like, I'm trying to think, like it's like Meat Boy that you have to use the physics of walls and stuff. It's not like a hundo. It's very pretty, like the pixel art style of it, because you're always kind of this glowing little guy in it. It's very cool. I'm not, I don't love all pixel art, and the pixel art of this game is really good. And of course, the game art's adorable. The story is heartbreaking. I won't spoil it for you. Really fucking good game though, if you like these types. Yeah, it's kind of tech, or I would say it's probably a mix of platformer and Metrovania. That's all my brain was gonna say. I wanted to say technology, and that wasn't what the word I wanted. My brain died. Anyways, that's probably one of my favorite genres. They're just so easy to sit back and play like for a very long period of time. Because, dying's part of the game. I don't know how else to put that. Screen. You just hit another milestone, which I believe is Rod doing my makeup. So, thanks! But also, holy fucking thank you! You just got our team closer to taking second place overall. I mean, and again,
I said this many times yesterday, and I'll say it again. I am not a competitive person.
But like, thank you.
Because we're gonna win, though, right?
I mean, if there's any place better to be a little bit of a douche about, like, we're gonna win, is it... I don't know a better place than helping some kids out. You guys know my stipulations.
Let's fucking get busy.
And by that I mean, go retweet it and shit. Like, not all of us are fucking rolling in cash. I'm not saying, like, you can't hang out unless you're rich. I'm not rich. I don't have money. But I know you can retweet, and you can, like, literally just hanging out in a channel that's also supporting the same charity of our team is a lot, because it boosts the channel and gets people to see it and stuff like that. Like, you guys know, I don't need to explain it to you. The semantics of the bullshit is all there, and you know exactly what I mean. Money isn't everything. It's big, but it ain't everything. And I fucking appreciate you. You too.
Come on, then.
Fuck. Thank you. Visibility is huge. There's a lot of people out there just looking for a good cause to support, and they don't know where to go. And I mean, that's huge. I can't reach that, and maybe you can. Like, it does not by any means.
How many now?
It's always such an awkward place, because I feel like sometimes, and myself included, when you're involved in a stream where people are doing charity, you have to, like, I'm so sorry I'm broke right now, and it's like, absolutely not. Same. Like,
pathetic.
and I think we all oh god, scene, sorry. I think we all Tiltify did the coolest shit this year. They instigated, what's the word? The matching thing is what I'm trying to talk about. They installed, whatever. Basically, like, this is why it comes up with Mishy 420. So basically what Mishy said, went on Tiltify and said, when you guys as a whole meet 420, they matched 420. I'm trying to eliminate my gendered language. I think it's stupid. They matched 420. You can do that, and a lot of people did it yesterday. And be careful. Like, be careful, please. Because I think it's... I mean, if anyone remembers that did a matching thing yesterday, if you... Correct me if I'm wrong, like... You match it, you match it. Like, if people match it, you match it. So just be careful. Don't go in there and be fucking around with the matching thing like a child. You know what I'm saying? Implemented is the word. Thank you. Implemented. They implemented it this year. But it's such a cool thing. It's such a... I think it's one of the best things they've ever done. Seriously. And it's all for something good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Trouble. I literally, we've got a full month of our team doing this, and we've already reached halfway. Like, of course we want to win, and we want to just, like, rocket through all of those other competitors. Like, fuck them, we're going to win. Our team's incredible. Like, have you looked at it lately? For Jesus Christ. But I know a lot of you, like, absolutely want to participate, and there's obviously, like, the charity will be going on as we do the cosplays and whatever people's milestones are. Pace yourselves and be careful. Just be responsible. I want to win. I want to be the biggest fucking team that donate, but I don't want to do it at the cost of y'all's, like, well-being. Does that make sense? Never. You always got to take care of number one, and then if you got a few bucks afterwards, you throw it at the people that need it, in my opinion. You got to take care of you. So just be careful, is all I'm saying. Thank you, Bun. That's a good way. If you commit to an amount, you are legit committed. It's not a toy, exactly. And not that I'm saying any of you would, like, just be careful. Like, when you're in the donation page, make sure you're not clicking shit you don't want to click, etc. I don't want any to get in trouble financially or whatever. Trying to be a good person. Like, none of us, that doesn't help anybody. You know. Danica hasn't even reached her final form yet. I'm saying. Yeah, we've got so much time. It's really just gone, it's just crazy. She wants to be the very best like no one ever was. I mean, it's facts, though. Dude, Trouble, same. I mean, that's the thing. I do as well. And that's why, I mean, I'm sure I'll be rating people back and forth on the team just because I know a lot of you know them anyways. And if you don't, I hope I expose you to some awesome streamers from our team because I know a lot of them. Competitive, but compassionate. Exactly. Yes. Very much so. I've seen things about streamers like people will have subreddits to them where they talk about, they're like, I couldn't afford my rent this month, but, you know, I gotta support so-and-so, insert name here. I never ever want any of you to do that. Like, please let me go to Hawk if that's the case. Jesus fucking Christ. That's not you? Wait, that's not you? Oh.
You sneaky slut. I mean, regardless, whoever done it, Satan, thank you, you generous fuck.
Oh, being responsible is not me. I mean, there are areas where we're allowed to splurge and stuff every once in a while. But like, exactly like Bun said, it's easy to fuck up. Someone accidentally donated 500 when they meant to donate 50. It's happened to me too. And thankfully, I'm a good person, and I'm like, yeah, let's fix this. Like, I don't want $500 you don't have. Fuck that shit. Please take your money. Like, let's contact PayPal or whatever. But there are shitty people out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. I want you to help as much as you want to help, but be careful with the clickings and stuff. I don't want you to fuck yourself. Not in that way. At all. Yeah, well, they're so good about it, because that happens probably a lot. I mean, I think we've all had a keyboard that sticks and accidentally types like 2 numbers when we didn't want it to. You get that extra 0 and you're fucked and you accidentally press enter because you're excited and like you're trying to beat a timer or something like that. Like, it's so easy to. I mean, it's not fair. No one should have to do that. Yeah. Tiltify and AJ did fix it. That's awesome. I love you, Goddess. Please have a good day, Honeybean. That's awesome. Bun, I love that so much. That's just good people. I mean, and to be honest, most of the time, shit fuckers aren't hanging around in streams where we're all talking about St. Jude and, like, you know, saying fuck cancer and stuff like that. They tend to hang out in different places, but just in case. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh my God. Can you imagine? And then, like, with the way banks are, fuck, they just keep slamming you with overdraft fees if you didn't have that much money. Like, I never want that to happen to anyone, as much as I want to win. Also, Magican just bumped us up to 1,700. Thank you. So we're officially 250 away from the next cosplay, whatever you guys vote in. A clown was in there too, because people keep saying they want me to do that. I don't want to do it, but it's in there. Now, I'm wondering how you do a Jessie cosplay with that crazy hair. Dude, it wouldn't be too hard, honestly. The construction of it. The hair would probably be the most challenging part. It'd be fun. Like, making wigs and shit with... how do I say this? It's cool to do your own hair, but when you're using a wig, it's so much fun because you can just, like, use as much hairspray as you want because you never have to take it out, and it gets to stay that way forever. See, that's Bun. I fucking hate clowns, but for some reason, people love to torture me. You know what I'm saying? But the Pokemon one would be the shit. The wig would be fun. Because that'd basically be constructing my own kind of like... that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm excited for like sexy Mothra, which I think is hilarious. Like, the fact that that's winning on the Twitter thing, if it's not one already, it's funny to me. Because I'd never in my life would that have come to mind. But I mean, any cosplay, if it doesn't have titties, like, I don't think it's really worth my time. I'm going to bring my titties out while they're still up here and not down here. So there we are with that one. But Sexy Mothra is the first one. I'm really excited because I keep running into these really cool, like, Pinterest everything on how to construct wings that actually are functional, like moth wings. And I want to do it so bad. Like real bad. We're 50. Okay, so y'all, if you are hanging out in other streams that are participating in our stream team, and or if you got a 50 you can throw at this stream, any of them, our team as a whole is $50 away from second place. I'm not a competitive person, but also bitches. Again, only if you got it. Anyways, let's kill some shit. That's honestly, so I've been looking at these cool, like, the way that you construct, like, it's basically kind of a weird, like, inner wooden mechanism that's just got bolts and stuff that moves like this, and then you construct the giant wings around it, so you have no idea that little mechanism's in there. But the way that you, like, attach the wings onto your body looks like S&M gear, and so part of me was like, what about, like, S&M Mothra? Like, would that... Not gimp suit, but, like, strappy Mothra? Mothra was still pretty far ahead. I'm excited because the wings, I mean, I loved challenging myself. That's what's fun about this kind of thing. Like, Karlach's going to be a challenge because I've never body painted like that before in my life. I like the challenge of something new. That's what really gives me my crafting boner. And the wings construction is going to be sick. Especially if they, like, you know, I just want them to at least do this. That's it. If they'll do that, Katie will be happy Katie. All the rest is all fucking whatever. Sexy Mothra was 1,000. That's why we're voting on that one. Sexy Mothra. Basically, I put in random. I don't know. I have to go in and edit my milestones. I put in random SFX at every 1,000 basically because I think that's reasonable. They take a lot of time. Like, they're gonna take probably a full year to do all of them. If we hit 5,000, that'd be insane. Sexy Mothra already hit. 2,000 is whatever we vote on from the selection. Like, and I take ideas as well. Like, I put in Clown because people love to watch me suffer. And then I put in Jinx because I've already been working on that one. And then Karlach is one that I've been requested to do many times. So I just figured that was a given. But I'm open to suggestions as well. I love doing the cosplay stuff anyways. So why not? Like Dami Mommy Mothra. Yeah, kind of. Yes. That was kind of my idea. Like, why not? Why not? I don't think anyone's done anything like that. Nuh-uh, we need $20 to tie for second. To tie. So what you're saying is our team needs $21. Spread the word amongst the streams if they don't know. Those of us that are live is what I'm saying. The seductive thorax, the gossamer wings, the compound eyes. So hot. Ooh, bun, give me. I'm always looking. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of cosplay characters out there that it's hard for me to do simply because of, like, construction of the body. I don't have room for a lot of this stuff. So I'm always looking for new shit to do. Dude, there's someone who actually won an award. Oh god, what is her name? We've looked at her Twitter many times. She does such a good Karlach cosplay. Like, I'm not looking to do anyone's shame. I want to be Karlach for a day. That's it. Seriously, that's secretly what I want. Bottom Godzilla Zach take. Oh my god, can you imagine? He let me turn him into Godzilla. I could make a head. I've never constructed a head before. That'd be kind of cool. Like a head. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a cast of his head and then construct, like, a Godzilla around it. Oh, we could make the mouth move. But then, like, put him in, like, a Speedo and suspenders like the Chipmunks. I bet he'd let me throw him into the shit in there. Into the incentives. He loves doing charity. He does more than I do. Ooh, I sent some black layers. Oh my god, Rini. Oh, I'm so excited. If you get an email or something saying they're delivered, just let me know and I'll make sure to go to the post office so they don't melt or get destroyed. Oh. Mothra and Godzilla fursonas. Can you imagine? Would it be... What would bug fursona? Is that still called a fursona? They're pretty fluffy. It's calling for a mankini. Something like that. Zeke will do anything for charity. Yeah, he's great. Thank you. Seriously, because I've had people, like, my post office is notorious for... They're supposed to email me anytime anything goes to the post office box, but they are seriously fucking horrible at it. So anytime people send something and they get an alert that it's delivered, Zach and I both ask that people, like, don't feel like you're annoying us. Let us know, because then we can just go fucking get it. Because it's... I mean, no shit. There was a sweatshirt that, a hoodie Knives got me for my birthday, which was March 3rd, and we just got it because we got nothing. We didn't know anything was there. It's very annoying. Furry fursona are umbrella terms. It does not have to involve fur. Boom. Okay, cool. I've just heard the terms like scalies and otherwise. I can't think of another one right now, but I'm sure you've heard them as well. In terms of, like, I'm sure the fursona is more like a reptile or a fish fursona or something like that. Barilla! Dude, did we just go into second place? Bitches, are we in... Barilla just did it. Barilla, did you just do it? Did Barilla just do it? Did Barilla just do it? Thank you, Barilla, you fucking generous hoe. 11 minutes until the 420. Cool, I'm gonna take a hit now. Right, dude, that's same. Or, like, our post office, and I feel bad. It's no shame to the people working there. Like, I try to be as pleasant as possible. I'm always really nice to them because it's always one person working, and they are the one person working the desk, sorting all the mail, helping people use fax machines and whatever, all the computers in there. It's one human being, so half the time the mail doesn't even get sorted. And I'm just like, dude, this is run shittily. Like, for fuck's sake, man, the poor guy. True fursuits, and I'm sure I don't have to tell a lot of you this, are so cool and so detailed and so expensive. Like, the ridiculous amount of construction that goes into that shit. Oh my god. It's beyond mascot. People love to say it's a mascot, and I'm sure I used that language at one time too. It is fascinating. And honestly, it's like the epitome... The epitome of crafting, in my opinion. It's just so cool what they do. Barilla, same. I'm not competitive, but, like, I want to win. I even put a doorbell in my mailbox because my building was stupid and was like, ring for my packages. I'll make sure my neighbors get it. Dude, we've done so many things like that, and it still doesn't happen. It's insane. Our postal worker at the APO, there's a dog here on me, office hates us because of me, but I'm not disabling my phone. I'm not responsible. Oh, man, I feel like Avery dealt with something like that a while back. Like, her post office is like, you have to stop accepting so many packages. She's like, are you kidding? What? There's a dog fuzz on me. But, thank you all. I think you might have literally just thrown our team into second. I'm looking and I'm updating the page. But, like, I too love me a fucking leaderboard. It feels so nice. Katie, you're sick. Come on. We'll start our run. Let's see. I bet that's how it'll update. It's like going to the bathroom and waiting for your food at the restaurant. We're in second place, bitches! I'm so sorry. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Barilla just tipped us over the edge. Fucking thank you. That is wondrous.
Hail Satan, the dankest of lords. Hallow be thy fame. Thy daddy comes. Thy will be done. I got nothing. Thank you. That's fucking sick, dude.
Seriously. Fucking sick! I love you, and thank you. Please please, though, like Trouble was saying, don't forget to check out all the other streamers that are on our team because they're all fucking sick. I've been trying to raid one every day. We raided Witch and Resistance yesterday. My tip usually sent.
My tip does usually send people over the edge. Help! Bitch. It's facts, though. How does it feel? No shit.
I was a werewolf one for Halloween when you're full fursuit mask, crap my furry. Dude, I have a lot of friends that are furries, and at this point, what I've learned is, like, if you want to be a furry, you're a furry. Because I was like, I like dressing up as an animal. Like, I love doing that. If I could afford a fursuit, I'd have one. Those are the coolest things ever. Does that make me a furry? And they're like, you want to be a furry? It's not like there's, like, and not that I thought this, or I think anyone else thinks this. It's not like there's, like, a board or commission that's like, not a furry! Chink, or whatever the fuck. What is that? I guess it bang, right? Depending on how much longer you go, I know exactly you can raid. Well, I said we'd do another run, so let's see. If you have to go... The fuck? Not Mandrakan.
For the children. You fuck! Dude, what the fuck? We better still be in second place is all I'm saying. Cause like, we ain't made of money. Mandrakan, you generous ass fuck.
Thank you for helping the children. Seriously, I fucking appreciate you. Or did we just... Nuh-uh. Mandrakan, you just tipped us over 44K as a team. Holy shit. Our team, which is a huge chunk of just like Twitch nerds hanging at home, hanging out on the internet, as we all do all day long. No shit. In like a little over 3 days has raised $44,060.94. That is sick. Fucking thank you. Not Mandrakan, excuse me. Definitely not Mandrakan. My bad, not Mandrakan. I know, it makes my mouth water like I'm gonna puke. I'm glad I have a monster because the carbonation does help. That's a really St. Jude's, my dudes. The fuck? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what Bun was saying earlier. Like, there's no way we won't take second later in the day at least, because almost the entire stream team goes live in the evening. I'm one of the few that's a more of a morning afternoon kind of streamer. So like, we're just the cherry on the fucking cake, my dudes. That 44, I'm actually a little nauseous. That is so much money. Tonight's gonna be dude, the moment whoever we raid, we're all gonna go in and be like, we're in second place. Keep us there. I know we're all like really kind-hearted souls who aren't competitive, but like, we're gonna win. Right? We must! It is just, my stomach feels butterfly-y, a little pukey. We really, I mean, no shit, not Mandrakan just tipped us over 40 in little under 3 days. That's lives changed. And it sounds so corny when you say it, but it truly, truly is. I've told you guys what it costs. I used to have to charge patients like in an ICU of Hopkins to have no nurse, no lights, no oxygen, no nothing but sleeping in the bed. It's $6,000 a night. When you start to compound cancer treatment on that, and maybe travel expenses, and food, and education, etc., it's nauseating what it costs to stay alive in this godforsaken country. My mouth is so fucked up. You guys are amazing. I'm literally a little bit, like... I mean, the fact that in 2 days, our community alone has raised almost $2,000... But that's Yeah, $1,000 is 2/3 of a chemo treatment. It's just, that is $44,000 is a huge chunk of change, and it's a huge fucking difference in a lot of people's lives who don't deserve that garbage shit like cancer. Fuck cancer. I'm shaking. It's so crazy. I don't need to win. Just beat those fuckers, right? Like, I don't need to be first, but I want to beat that other team. Like, really bad. Oh, dude, Crayon, right? I know. I've never seen it like in a. I can't get it like in a box or in a 6-pack or anything. It's always only singles, which they're super expensive around here. I never get them, but the peach ones are super fucking tasty. It's so many full treatments. I know. It's just, it's hope. Because can you imagine? I don't have kids, so it's really hard for me to even speak on it because it's just heartbreaking. But being faced with like, we can afford to keep you alive, my daughter, son, child of whatever pronoun you choose eventually, for X amount of months. That's all we've got. After that, sorry. Hope you get better. That's not okay. None of that's okay. None of it. I should have done 93 cents. The cents are weird. I've noticed that. I don't know if that's like, it's probably international donations to the charity that, like the conversion rate probably makes the cents in there. But I've noticed that all day as we've been watching it. It's at 94 cents. 44,000. Jesus fucking Christ. $44,060.94. But the cents has been all over the place. So I think it's like that. It's got to be exchange rates or something, because I don't know. But maybe. I mean, I definitely donate. When I donate to people, or even if they're doing a charity, I usually donate with 69 cents because I'm a fucking child. So someone might be making palindromes, right? Like, there could be an internal game going on there. There is a peach monster. Yeah. It's been out for not very long, but it's pretty tasty. It's very mellow. I like it because it's not, like, overwhelming. $2? Oh, dude, they're like around $3. I mean, unless they're having a sale on them. If I see one at a gas station, it's like $3 something cents, right? I don't do it very often, but every once in a while. So this is how I made myself understand. Chip and Nibbler are my children, which are the dogs. If they had cancer, it would destroy me. I know it isn't the same at all, but it's the closest I can come to understanding the actual feeling. I agree. I equate it to that. Like, but I am 100% aware and understanding that I did not give birth to my dogs, and my dogs are not my children. But I love them with every ounce of my being, and would probably I would absolutely step in front of a bullet for my dog. I wouldn't even have a moment to think about it. It'd just be instinct. I love my dogs. I would do that for a friend as well. I would do that for my little sister. Like, I equate it to that. Like, if my little sister I'm not even going to say it, got the horrible C, like, my life would be over. I would not be able to survive without my sister. It's not possible. Like, it's just not, I wouldn't be able to do it. My sister is my everything. Like, I could not fucking do it. I mean, y'all remember when my girl Vissy got cancer? That was the weirdest, fastest, most horrific nightmare year, I think, of a lot of our lives. Just going through it with her. And she's an adult, but she got brain cancer. Like, it's just, right? I can't even say it. My mom has had breast cancer, and I thank fuck. Don't believe in some Christian God, but I think whatever the fuck is out there, trees, the earth, space, and nature, that my mom is alive. Today, she survived. She's got a big old fake titty, and she hates it, but she's alive. And that feeling of when she told me that, the stomach drop, no one should have to go through that. And I'm not saying that's the same as your child. I think there's something, as far as I understand from all of my friends who are parents, there is something unexplainable about the difference of that love with that thing that you've made. Or adopted, your child, I should say. It doesn't have to squish out of your pussy for that to be your child. I've had many people in my life who have been parental to me who did not make me in any way, shape, or form. But you know what I mean. The multiverse as a whole, exactly. Like, insanely thankful, because that is just, it's fucking terribad. It makes me, like, sweaty to think about it. And a kid. kids are hardy, man, but Jesus Christ, nobody deserves that shit. And if we can, that's what we were talking about this yesterday when we were starting this up. Like, if any modicum of help, whether it's retweeting it, just talking about it, being the streamer who puts it up and asking like, hey, you got a couple extra bucks you want to throw towards a charity with me? If we can do anything to alleviate even the tiniest little pressure off of a family member and the person who's suffering, like, why the fuck not? It's no sweat off our balls. And if it is sweat off your balls, double think it, because you probably have some bills you need to pay. Like, take care of yourself first, and then let's help others. You can't take care of people if you're not taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? 100%. That was something I really had to teach myself in my older years. Trouble is it's okay to feel that familial bond with people that aren't family, and to not feel that familiar bond with people who are not family. That's okay. There's no sense in wasting life hours on people just because you have the same DNA, because at the end of the day, we probably all have a little bit of the same DNA. Like, it's found family. That's the term. Sexcellent got it immediately, yeah. There's something, like, we were just talking about this recently. I want to say, like, last week. But it took me a while, but what made it really click for me is there's almost something, and I'm not, like, it's hard to compare, but there's something almost more special about someone who has no familial, like, reason to love you. Like, they have no, like, they don't, I can't think of the word. The word, is fucking escaping me. But you know what I mean? There's something about someone who chooses to love you and chooses to be there for you and isn't at that behest because of blood or family or whatever. There's something almost like it's really special. You know? Don't knock it. There's something about it. Hold on, I want to read this from Donna about chemo. My Crohn's chemo injections, if I didn't have a copay assistance plan, my copay... Oh my god. Donna! My copay that my insurance doesn't cover is $6,000 per monthly injection. Not okay, America. Not okay. Obligation is exactly the word I was trying to come up with. Thank you, Sexy. I appreciate you. Literally, I was trying to think up, like, that familial obligation. Like, you know, not that there's anything wrong with that. You might still have the same level of love. But there's something, like, about that. It's exactly, I love you because I have to, or I love you because you're just an established figure in my life because we're cousins or whatever, versus I love you because I love you and I choose to. And nothing holds me to it. I just choose to. Like, that's, I enjoy you and want to keep you in my life. Like, that is fucking raw, special bullshit right there. We missed 420, but it's 426. Cheers. Yes. Thank you for letting me binge and go on about, I mean... Both of my biological parents had cancer. It took one of them. Cancer is so nauseatingly close to my heart. I'm sorry if I go off on tangents like this when we do charities like this, but nobody should have to go through that shit. Nobody. Families and the person suffering cancer, and it's all such fucking garbo. Cheers. Right. I mean, if there's anything to tangent on, I think it's an appropriate, like, universally, fuck cancer. What a fucking curse. The copay assistance program is from the company that makes my Crohn's chemo. They pay what my insurance doesn't cover. Wow. I mean, I'm very happy you have that, because I don't know anyone who can afford $6,000 a month. That's not a mortgage. I've never known anyone with a mortgage like that, though. I don't even know. Like, my dad lost his fraternal twin to colon cancer at 39. That is so young. That is so fucking young. No. Watching him go through that burned into my brain, yeah. It's not, it's... My dad got pancreatic cancer when he was 49. And if you're familiar with pancreatic anything ever, you're gone. Like, it takes you. And what compounded it was my dad had hepatitis. I think it was C. It's the type that you get from probably fucking around with needles when you're in college. This was the 70s and nobody knew anything. but it sits dormant in your body and waits. It can sit dormant like for like 30 years or whatever, and it waits for an opportune time. So it did, and it activated, and it just all took him within like 3 months. It was like literally from 100 to 0 within 3 months. He was gone. It was fucking wild. I was only 7, and I still remember watching that. It was like watching a skeleton form. Pancreases are bullshit, man. They're so weird and so like vital. Fuck them. Thankfully, I don't have to do infusions for my Crohn's. I mean, how would anybody? Curmudgeon, you generous slut! Bitch. Thank you so much for donating $50 to our Control Alt Donate team / just St. Jude's. I mean, let's be honest. It's all just for St. Jude's. But I fucking appreciate you and thank you. I mean, takes one to know one. Let's be real. And just to reiterate, I know I've said this a few times before, but there are new emotes in chat, Control, Alt, and a heart. Those, as well as all these wonderful graphics, were all made by I'm Kat. She is our resident goblin who never sleeps. She works so goddamn hard. She made all these beautiful graphics, and Gekritz and I'm Kat packaged them all together for the whole team to use. So, like, I had to put in such little effort. They're just the best. I just have to say. They make it so easy to just, like, help people out. You know what I'm saying? Yep, the art on the team page is from Kat. I think Kat has done almost, if not all of the art for the team, yeah? And she gave us, I mean, it's not just this. She made a light version, a dark version, a high contrast version, a low contrast version, like all of these zip files with the same picture, but like different versions, because she knows all of our streams look different. Like, I couldn't use the dark one. It wouldn't have worked on my stream because half my stream's black. She's so goddamn thoughtful. I know I'm just really thankful. People that are so selfless, hold them dear. They're precious, right? They're so cute. They're like cute and bubbly, but not, they look unique. I love them. And the emotes are precious too. She did such a fucking good job. She did it before anyone could ask. I didn't know that. I know I've only been to a few of your streams, but always enjoy. I mean, let's be real. I try to do as much, like, I try to go see my friends on Twitch as much as possible. But if you stream as much as I do, which I'm sure a lot of us do, it kind of feels like you're that person that won't leave work when you clock out sometimes. So I usually put people on, and I don't really chat that much. I'm Queen Lurker. It's terrible. Queen of like, hey guys, and then walking away from my PC and just listening in the background. But you know that feel? A little bit? Like, I gotta walk away from it a little bit and not see Twitch just to, like, relax my eyes from reading, like, rapid chats and shit. But it's the... Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, really? Well, looks like I'm doing... It's probably Karlak, right? Also...
Double nice.
Alright, secretive motherfucker. Thank you for that $69.69 to St. Jude's. I fucking appreciate you. I think you have firmly solidified our stream team in second place for at least a little bit. And then tonight, it will be firmly solidified there, and then maybe we can all reach for the stars and the first place we fucking deserve. Not that it matters, because we're not competitive. Jess? That's what I'm saying, Viata. I was saying that yesterday, too. Like, I don't think she sleeps. Like, how does she manage to make graphics packages for an entire stream team of, like, I mean, arguably extremely professional streamers, and work a full-time job? Did you make job? She's a vampire. It is. It really, curmudgeon. It's... Sometimes I'm obviously not hearing the bad parts, but, like, just getting to sit down and talk to people who have had a life dealing with chronic illness and stuff like that, and hear how positive they are is kind of humbling. I can't think of a better word than that. You know, like, I've had patients who have, you know, they were in the military when they were super young, or they got some horrible disease that they lost their legs or they lost an arm or something like that at a very young age. And now that they're my patient when they're older, they're just, their life, I mean, to me, being a very ignorant chud with all my fucking health and my limbs and whatnot, thinking like, oh, my life is over if I lost an arm or if I had Crohn's and had to, you know, get injections or something, or because I've never had that. But they lead these like beautiful lives, and in no way, shape, or form did their disease really factor in much. Like, it's there, but more of like a background. I don't know how to explain that. And it's insanely fucking humbling. And it makes you so goddamn grateful for what you it's like these people, I've never been told this, but in my mind I'm like, Katie, you need to shut the fuck up sometimes. It's a kind of one of those, like, just shut the fuck up. You have no idea. No, I will never. I mean, in like the universe willing, won't ever be able to conceptualize what it's like to have to live with something like that. And how dare I even try? Yeah, they're exactly. Our illness does not define us. And that's exactly, it's like these people will tell stories, you know, their whole life, and they don't, I mean, I know they haven't had legs since they were 21 because they lost them in whatever battle or a war or something like that. And they tell me their life stories about hiking and traveling to Tibet and riding llamas. And I would never be like, how'd you do that without legs? But I'm like, if this motherfucker can, you know, hike the fucking Aztec pyramids down in Mexico, I can do my laundry. Or whatever my fucking neuro bullshit is keeping me from doing. It really kind of, it's something, it's a unique something I don't know what if I would have got not working in a hospital for a bit. And that's, I mean, how else do you get that kind of perspective, though? It's a perspective, exactly. Like, how else, unless you have a chance to speak to people like that? And it's not even like, how did you live with your life without legs? Like, that's not how a conversation starts. It's just, I love to talk to people, obviously, and I love to learn people's life stories, and people who are born in the 20s and 10s, like, their lives are fucking fascinating. They lived on, like, a different planet than me. So I love sitting and listening while I'm, like, doing my vent checks or whatever. I'd love to smack until they shut the fuck up, right? And I get that, 100%. Crohn's become a large part of my personality because it keeps me from doing things I love and has since 2009. Yeah. Getting my eye disability changed my world dramatically. Oh, I don't doubt that. I mean, Jesus Christ. That's my father-in-law, paralyzed at 19 in Vietnam. Nothing gets that man down. He even taught my son to fly his plane. Yeah. That's, so many of my patients are like that. And no shit, you guys know what I did for a living. It was dark. It was sad. Lots of death. And just thinking back on it in just personal experience, I've never heard a life regret outside of, like, I wish I wouldn't have worked as much. I wish I would have spent more time with family and friends. And not even a regret, just a wish. Like, that's all they're saying at the end. These are what they wanted. Be surrounded by family, work less. That's all they said. Pretty universally. Which is crazy, because some of them are dying from self-inflicted things, and I'm like, this isn't one of your regrets, but okay. Not that I'm asking. People just talk about this stuff at the end. People get very talky. Pun, right? Probably more people can relate in this day and age, honestly. Ooh, how is that? Eye therapy. Is it like training the musculature of the eyes or something like that? Oh, no shit. My great uncle was a World War II bomber crewman. You know, my grandpa was a World War II merchant marine. And the only shit that ever came out of him regarding any of that, and we asked, was fuck the military. Because, and I'm pretty I don't know when this went away or when this was rectified or whatever, but if you were a merchant marine, you weren't considered actually part of the military, even though you get shot at and die and shit. So they got 0 veteran benefits until, I think my uncle, my grandpa and his brother both of whom were shot. My uncle lost an entire lung and a half, lived his life with like a quarter lung, but, you know, not part of the military, whatever. They were offered veteran benefits, I think, when they were both like in their late 60s, early 70s, and both of them told the government to go fuck themselves. Because they were like actually fucking injured, and when they were no longer able to be in the military was like, peace, you're no use to us, and you weren't part of the military, so bye. And that's all I got. But like, thank you for your service. I'm not anti-military. I think the military was fucked at that point, because that was really messed up. The reason St. Jude's important to me, I lost my grandmother on my mom's side to cancer. Ugh. By extension, my grandpa. No. Because when the diagnosis happened, his health rapidly declined. You know, my Nana, I think my Nana died of a broken heart. That was one of the saddest things, man. Watching her just crumple for no reason whatsoever other than my grandpa was no longer there. Shit, man. St. Jude's, man, the first time I ever heard about St. Jude's, like when I had started streaming, you know, obviously I started streaming so long ago. No charity was affiliated with Twitch or wanted anything to do with us because we were still like sketch, creepy people on the internet. But once we started working with St. Jude, it was like just having a meeting with one of the St. Jude reps and talking to them. Everything that St. Jude strives to do with the funds that we all help gather is everything I just wanted so badly in every hospital I've ever worked in. It was like everything that I would pray and fucking wish for when I had to walk out of a kid's room and like clench my fists around the corner because insurance won't cover the life-saving med they need. And it's such a simple med, but it's more expensive and insurance says no. So now what? Like, that doesn't happen at St. Jude's. Or, you know, seeing a child alone for 5 days a week in their bed because their parents live a state over and they can only come on the weekends. And like, we sit with them as much as we can, but like the hospital doesn't give a babysitter or give company. That could be an 8-year-old alone, just alone in a hospital bed all day, other than checks, because we have other patients. That's not fair it's gross. And St. Jude, that won't happen at St. Jude's. It's just shit that, like, I miss medicine sometimes because it's beautiful. It can be beautiful, seeing people get better, even seeing death sometimes. Sometimes it's a relief for some people who have suffered for a very long time. Like, there's a lot of wonderful parts about medicine. But, man, when you see, like, just the capitalism influence, I don't know how to say it, like the capitalism influence on medicine and how it's quite literally leading to the suffering and death of humans, it's not that doesn't happen at St. Jude. Like, and that's why they do what they do. Other hospitals don't do what they do, and that's why they run the way they run, and it's fucking gross, and they choose to be that way. Whereas St. Jude's, I don't know who the fuck started it. I don't know how the fuck they got into it, but wasn't it like Mary Tyler Moore or something? Like commercials back in the 90s and 80s, like on PBS or something. And I think that's how it all got started. And I'm really glad they reached into the internet community because I don't know if anybody else saw how... And I say this as a good thing. We're all a bunch of bleeding hearts. Like, the vast majority of us, we're kind of nerds who were bullied. And we're just out there to we just want people to smile. Like, I don't feel tentative in saying I think the vast majority of us, community included, like, not just streamers, all of us. Like, we were all kind of othered in some way or another. And we don't, like, that's not okay. And, like, if we can put a smile on a kid's face in any way, shape, or form, why not? No one should feel shitty for any reason. Especially kids. Danny Thomas, thank you. I think it's beautiful that not only does St. Jude does research and treats parents, but they make it so welcoming for the whole family and just stays. Yeah, they house the families. Like, if you don't live near St. Jude's, they give housing. Like, that shit just is so... It's hard to explain until you see families struggle to come in and see a family member every day, or maybe not be able to see a family member every day. Because it's impossible. Most big hospitals are in the middle of a city where you have to pay to park and shit. It's crazy. You're gonna make my eyes... You made me ink. Yep, it's housing, it's food, it's transportation, like anything needed. Anything. It's not just research, but it is research. It's not just treatments, but it is treatments. It's anything to alleviate stress and the just horror on a family and a patient. when a child gets diagnosed with cancer. Because it's wrong. Shouldn't happen. Well, and Bun, that's another thing. Like, I've talked about this so many times. I've talked about it so much on my stream, but there's something about, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But the likelihood, and just treating many, many patients over many years, but like the likelihood of a patient having a good outcome and walking out of the ICU is exponentiated by people around them. And I don't want to say just family, because it could be friends, but it's just my patients who have, people who come and visit them every once in a while, a daily visitor at least, their just outlook on their own prognosis, their own life, their own getting out of the hospital is so much fucking higher. Like literally 0 to 60 almost. It's crazy. Versus there's a lot of patients who, their families work and live really far away and they cannot come see them more than once, maybe twice a month or something like that. Especially when you're in a big major hospital, which is where a lot of people go when they're really, really sick. And, I've never met a nurse or someone who doesn't sit and talk with their patients. And we know when you're alone, and none of us feel good about that. I'm going to spend some extra time chilling in your room and hanging out. No one should have to, unless obviously it's clear you want to be alone. Like, duh. But it's so isolating in there, and your autonomy is gone. Like, people are poking and prodding and sticking tubes in every hole of you. Like, there's something to it. And so the fact that Johns Hopkins enables your entire core family to be there 24/7 all the time with you as a child while you're going through arguably maybe one of the most horribly tumultuous experiences you might have in your entire life, quite literally priceless. I'd raise money for St. Jude's every day of the year if we could eliminate that shit. St. Jude's does all the good stuff. I'm talking like all this stuff is stuff I used to wish for when I worked at Johns Hopkins. And it's not just Johns Hopkins, it's every hospital across the board. Johns Hopkins it's probably I worked at a hospital in Washington called Evergreen as well, which was in a major city area where you had to pay to park and shit like that. And the pay to parking, it was $20 regardless of how long you were there. And that's a lot of money for some people. It's kind of on top of the medical bills you're going to come out with. It's just the literal stress of the whole situation of every hospital I've ever worked at, watching families just crumple from it, versus what at St. Jude's they will not allow to happen. That won't happen. Did we literally, I let an hour go by just blabbing my mouth? This shit just really is really personal to me. My mom needs professional counseling because when we lost my dad, it was right at the height of COVID. Oh, God. That's sad. It's so hard to find, though. I hope she's able to find someone to talk to, because that's... Ryan doesn't talk about it much, but the week of me being in the hospital is so hard for him. I can't even. I literally, sex cannot. The panic in my soul, like... there are no words, because the reality of it really kicks in, especially when you can't go in and be there for something like a procedure and you just have to go home. The reality of this is what it could, what, I'm not even gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it because it's not real and you're here forever and we love you so much. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what I mean. The reality of like this creepy quietness could be forever is fucking haunting. It's horrible. I don't envy that at all. Some things fuck you up, 100%. And you can't help that, and that's no fault of anyone. And what's really sad is that anyone that went through a tragedy either right before COVID or during, the world was already in this weird kind of form of like a global depression, for lack of a better term, just from being in lockdown, totally not knowing what the fuck was going on because there was no real information. Like, you didn't know where to get the real information about what was going on, and really, we didn't know. And it was horrifying. And then having a tragedy such as a death or a divorce or something like that going into your life, or losing your home because you can't work or whatever, I can't even put myself in that. I just don't even know. It's unfathomable, truly. We had a friend who was able to hang out with him and help help set up our apartment because we still really hadn't unpacked. My God. Yeah, my hubby has a pretty big fear of hospitals, so I don't make him come when I'm admitted because I have my mom who's there with me. You're lucky. He's gotten better about hospitals, especially now that he knows I only have an IV in me, not a ton of tubes. I totally get that. I've never had a good feeling in hospitals, which is weird that I aimed to go work in one. Very bizarre. But, like, my mom worked in hospitals my whole childhood, her whole life. And so did my bio dad. And I very clearly remember that weird, sterile smell coming home on them on their scrubs and shit and hating it. And I have a needle phobia, but I went into it anyways because human science is fascinating. I guess. The pandemic was a global trauma that we all went through, and any personal loss compounded that. The compounded is the word I was looking for exactly. Yeah, that compounded just sense of existential, like, doom and dread and, like, what the fuck? Like, what do we do? It was really scary, you know? Like, I went, I think, 2 years almost without seeing my family because we were all scared to travel and, like, make someone sick. And not even us. Like, I'm really blessed with a fairly healthy family, but, like, we talk about this a lot. What if I'm a carrier and I spread that to someone who's an immunocompromised human? I'm not going to be the responsible for someone dying. Fuck that. At the height of the shit, when we didn't have, like, you know, vaccinations or anything like that, that's not me. I'm too educated. I know too much to go out and play that ignorant bullshit game. And I refused. And yeah, it isolated me from my sister, my mom, my stepdad for 2 years. And that sucked. But you know what's worse? Spreading a deadly fucking pandemic. Like, fuck that. Not my business. Not my game. We'll do more runs tomorrow. I blabbed instead, but honestly, y'all are so fucking wonderful. Thank you for listening to my personal stories and experiences. It's hard being vulnerable about this stuff, and I was really young when all that went down. So a lot of my, like, how do I put it? Like, a lot of my understanding and, like, comprehension, Jesus Christ, of the situation that went down with my dad really didn't come until a lot later. Like, I understood my dad died, but it, like I said, it was a little over 3 months it took him. Like, he went from 60 to 0. It took him so fucking fast that as a kid, it didn't really compute. And he was on top of that an alcoholic who slept all day and stayed up all night and drank. So he wasn't really an active participant in my daily life. So his absence, like his permanent fucking, oh, that human's really gone, didn't really click until later, and I didn't quite fully encompass it. And by the time I did, my mom got cancer, and I was like, oh my fucking God, what the shit is going on? And it was just formative years, exactly. It's like those are the years where shit starts to actually kind of, the puzzle pieces, it's not just like this person's missing, but I don't know where and I can't really figure it out. You start putting it together like, oh, they don't ever come back, and that box on the bookshelf is dad. Urn, whatever the fuck you call it. It takes a really long time, I think, and that's okay. Especially when you're a kid. You know, like I've told you guys that my mom sent my sister and I to some sort of counselor after my dad died. And I don't remember, like, all she did was play board games with us. I remember she had this board game called Break the Ice where you would, like, tink, tink, tink little ice blocks, and that was it. But I don't remember us talking about anything at all. I don't know. Because I was 7. Like, I don't really know if you really compute death at that age. Completely. Unless maybe it's someone closer. Dude, it was the best. It was the only reason I was okay with going to this therapy session, because I knew she had Break the Ice and we didn't have Break the Ice, and I wanted it so bad. Like, just the little tink, tink, tinks. Oh my God. The pleasure of it. It was the best. It was so good. Oh yeah. Like, I had no idea what these, like, talking to this strange woman was for, but she had that game, and that was the shit. But yeah, it's hard to and when you come to the realization that the reason this person's gone from your life, I mean, granted, he was an alcoholic and whatnot, but it was just this fucking horrific thing called cancer that takes a lot of people for no fucking reason. And for a long time, I was, like, angry, but also kind of, like, made sense of it in my head in terms of, like, he was an alcoholic. And he had hepatitis, probably from fucking around with needles in college. He wasn't on drugs at the time, but, like, probably. So I was like, all of those things combined, And as I got older, and especially when I started working in medicine, I was like, oh no, anybody can get cancer. Anybody. Because there's infinite kinds. We don't understand it. We don't know why it keeps happening. It happens for fucking X to the nth reasons. And it's disgusting. It's just gross. And like I said earlier, and I know it's dark, but like there is something so visceral and feral in your soul when you see a kid suffering from something that is likely, I mean, maybe gonna end their young life. Something like screams in you and bleeds because there's something so fucking wrong with a kid in pain or dying. It's just, you don't have to have kids for that to be a real thing, I think, in you. And granted, there are some people who are soulless and it's not in there. But I think for the vast majority of this, I can speak when I say, like, we've talked about this before in terms of just, like, that animalistic urge I think that most human beings have to protect the vulnerable. I.e., like, if you see a car coming and a kid fell over in the street, you wouldn't even question, there wouldn't even be a thought process. Your body would just suddenly be in the street getting that kid out. I don't know how else to explain it. There's something in you that understands that you if you're okay, you protect the ones that aren't okay. Kids, the elderly, like it's just something you don't even think about. And when you like they're working in the hospital, you know, I'm there caring for kids and stuff, but I'm under the understanding that I'm not the oncologist, I'm not the cancer team. I just have to watch this. And it's putting that in the palms of a parent. I forbid it. Like, how dare we not do our very least? So that's it. That's my sap for the day. Bun, you said you had an idea for who we should raid. I should take my dogs for a walk before I lose sun and shit because we went an hour late. Me just blabbing about shit, of course, but I appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of this because the team is all a bunch of fucking dope people. Seriously. I'm very honored to be a part of it. Simple things like holding the door open for someone or, like you said, getting the kid out of the street, 100%, yeah. It's the tiny little just acknowledge. It's like the silent acknowledgments of humanity in another person. It doesn't mean we're best friends now. It doesn't mean we're soulmates. I acknowledge you as a human being who was in need. Your arms were full. I held the door. Or just holding the door. I think most of us, like, agree. Like, that's just a nice thing to do. But it's just, you know, it's silent, small acknowledgments that I see you. I see you. You are people's. Like, I don't have to know you to still see you. And I think we're missing that a little bit. Merch through the link just goes to the team as a whole. So yeah, I mean, our team gets credit, and that's absolute numero uno, most important. Yes. It goes to team, and team most importante, because team is in second thanks to y'all. And then, I mean, it's going to firmly stay there thanks to the rest of these motherfuckers, and I'm really excited about it. You know what? Funk has been hanging out in the stream the past couple days. Should we go, like, say hi? Come on. Do it. This is how we do it. Why not? Let's fucking do it. Team is team. Amen. Yeah, like at the end of the day, I don't care who the fuck you give money to or who the fuck what channel, as long as it's going to St. Jude's. I really want it to be to Control Donate because I'm not competitive. But we're gonna win. Know what I'm saying? Like, we have a preference, but I don't care. Just give it to the organization. For fuck's sake. Whatever. Oh, wait. I'm in this team. I was going to say, I mean, Pickles, that's not... Like, we're still good. Like, we're still winning in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. Oh, Donna, I mean, like, I would probably say no. There's people on our stream team who are mostly, like, organizers of said stream team and they don't really stream that often themselves. I would say not at all competitive within the team. It's a full team situation. And like we were saying this earlier, so many of y'all watch almost everyone in our stream team right now. I've known half of this stream team for 8+ years. I know a lot of you are in their streams as well. It would be ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to ask you to pick a favorite. Are you kidding? Have you seen the team? It's not real. It's not. Smash makes me sweaty. Genova, exactly. Yeah. It would be, I mean, it would kind of be, as a person who hates having to pick of choices, if someone was like, it's competitive amongst the team and I liked 3 or more people on the team, I'd be like, I can't give to anybody. I have to go somewhere else. I can't pick. I'd much rather you just give to whoever's on our team and our team win. That's the best. Smash is the shit, dude. Like, seriously. She'd been posting some pictures on Twitter lately that I literally, like, I was doing, you know, like the fast scroll through Twitter, like, just like, is there anything? And I did like the, like, real life record scratch to scroll back up. Like, bitch, who's taking these? Goddess, the glow's coming out. You need to wear more of the, like, the baking powder because people are going to see the goddess and they're going to capture you and do scientific studies or something. Stop it. You have to hide the tone the magic down. Seriously. Yeah. Right? No, I get it. I feel you spiritually. Dude, Vinny, I've had the pleasure of getting to hang out with Smash now at 2 different cons. No shit. First time I ever met Smash, last story of the day. Then I swear to God, we're going to raid. But, first time I ever met Smash was IRL. She had her giant fucking hammer. This was TwitchCon 2016? 17? 16, 17? It wasn't the first one. It was like the second or the third one. And I had actually been invited there by the Amazon game dev team. And so I was kind of working with them. And so was she. We were both like working on different games. So we didn't know because, you know, you can't talk NDA bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But there was this central area amongst this. It was really weird. It was like this downstairs kind of like a den area in the convention center. And 3 different rooms that were the different games that they had streamers testing. And Smash and I just happened to run into each other in the hall. And I happened to have a stalker that year, which was super, super horrible. Long story short, this person was stalking me, like following me on Twitter via pictures other people took of me to figure out where I was going all night long and then waiting outside bathrooms for me. Super scary. And Smash and I ended up hanging out for what I want to say is like 6+ hours in this hallway of the Amazon game studios, just bullshitting. And I think I mentioned like 3 hours into us bullshitting, like eventually I was like, oh yeah, I've been down here hiding from someone because it was like guard blocked. You couldn't come down there unless you had an invite to one of the game things. So it was the only safe place to be. And once she found out, she like readied her literal hammer. And the game devs of the Amazon game we were both like testing with them came out and they escorted me across the floor to my party. And that's how Smash and I became friends. Please help our charity team. I know. Smash ain't one to fuck with. I'm sure you've seen. I mean, bitch is. I'm like nervous if I ever shared a hotel with her because I know we'd end up working out in the same gym area and she would smother. She's in such good shape. I'm so envious of everything. Like, what the fuck? Like, she would run me ragged. I would not be able to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I run, but I don't work out. Bitch works out. Like, bitch is ready to. I am inferior. We are not worthy. That's how. Like, I saw I think it was her and Dan, and someone else posted a selfie of them working out at the St. Jude's thing, and I was like, that's my worst nightmare. Because I'd be like, I have to keep up, but I would not be able to walk. I wouldn't be able to function. I mean, no shit. And she looks phenomenal. And she has I'm very jealous. I'd kill for some nice shoulders. But you know what? Some of us are just made to be mid. And some of us get to be goddesses. I'm just happy to be friends with one. That's all. I'm blessed. It's it. Dude, I'm in. Pickles, I'm down. Dude, we could do like the Hey Arnold gum sculpture. We need help though. My jaw would get tired. See ya. It was Avery. That's who it was. Thank you. Yes, it was Avery. Yep. That's my, just because I'd be so intimidated. I feel like I need to keep up, and I do not work out at that level. I do not have abs. Do you know how, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys. I'm sure a lot of us know, because a lot of us don't have them. Maintaining a visible abdominal muscle ain't no fucking little kid's game. Bitch. Nah. I don't want to do it. I'm cool. I'll jiggle. It's fine. Fuck that shit. Anyways, now that I've talked up my whole stream, I mean, seriously, it is really cool. I've been friends with so many people on this team for a really long time. And it's cool to see that, you know, I feel like it is a little bit of like a pat on my own back in terms of like, bitch, my judge of character. Thank you, Pickles. I could have swore we followed each other, but maybe that was a Twitch thing or not. I just love Pickles. But like, you know how like you meet people and in some time they show their true colors and you're like, is it my judge of character? Is it me? I'm sure we've all had that once or twice. And this whole group of people I've known for so long, and we've maintained friendship for this long, and all of these people are like not the, I guess, the drama type. I don't know how to say that. They just like keep to their own like awesome human beings. And it's good to know that they're still just being awesome, and my judge character wasn't off. I feel like I've been able to do that as well, Sex. I can't think of one. I've never like been friends with or had an outstanding relationship with someone who absolutely took a turn for the fucking unforgivable worst. And I feel like that's, I give myself pats for that, because that's not easy, especially on the internet. Because people can, I'm sure we've all seen it. People can really lie out their ass. It's crazy. Is it facade? Like the facade some people can put on for so long, and they're just horrid on the inside. And it's scary. Like I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like I get really like apprehensive of that. I'm like, I don't know. Is it me? Am I just, but not yet. Like thus far, this is why I'm proud to say like, oh, I've been friends with this person for 8 years via Twitch. Cause that's like we met on the interwebs and became friends, probably playing Mario Kart or something way back in the day. And, like, it feels good to know, like, I didn't become friends with someone that was secretly, like, a nasty, you know. That's good. I'm not friends with anyone that was Me Too'd, if you know what I'm saying. Didn't happen, which is great. That feels great that none of my man friends got Me Too'd. You know what I'm saying? That just, I'm like, good job. You followed your gut. Like, the ones that made you feel icky, you got away, and they were, so... Good job. Follow your gut. Always listen to your gut. Your gut is important. Hydrate. All right. Now I have to go walk my dogs. We're going to raid Funk. Maybe make them shit. Are they still alive? Yep, Funk's still alive. Okay. Take care of yourself and make sure to take your meds. If you're night meds, drink water. And pee after sex. Wear your brown pants. It's going to be the tits. Very wholesome, I agree, Pickles. Like, they're the type of people who don't put on any sort of facade. Like, we all are exactly who we are. All of us. I feel like a lot of people on the team are the type of people that were from the dark ages of the internet where it wasn't even a thing. Like, it wasn't like, we didn't even think, like, oh, we could be anyone on the internet? Like, I could lie here? That's where the meme came from. Nobody can lie on the internet. Tee hee ha ha. We made that because we believed that. And then it changed, but we all come, like, I feel like the same. Like, you get what you get. This is it. This is me. This is me all the time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all my RP characters, I interject little bits of myself. Always. My raid button isn't working. I'm reloading chat really quick. Like, every character I've ever made has, like, a chunk, like, a piece of me that I build off of in a fantastical sense, but they all have a little, like, a seed or a core or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? I can't not, it's impossible not to, because I don't know how I could accurately like build a believable or lovable or hateable or any kind of character with if I was writing from a place I didn't know. At least at first. Like a core? Too exhausted? Dude, you got fucking right though. All of us. Global exhaustion. Here it is. Now it's working. All right. We're raiding Funk Smash. Hopefully they have their brown pants on. Please work. I feel like they tried to update the dashboard because the last 2 days it's been a little funky, lack of word, you know what I'm saying? Because you're familiar and you get it exactly. And then you get weird from it. Smart. He wore his brown pants today. I bet it looks huge in these hands. Anyways, I love you, fucks. This is This is a very significant chunk of a fucking astounding goal. Almost halfway, like 40. Thank you. Please continue watching. Everybody from the stream team, go give them follows. They're awesome. I think we have an alert for it, but I'll give you the link unless someone beats me to it to the actual information on our stream teams so you can follow all of them because they're all the shits. And by that I mean the tits. The tits shits? You know what? Anyways, take care of yourselves. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do more Hades runs because my back, the swiveling shit between monitors is killing me. So it's good to just stare forward. But as always, probably talk about personal stories. And if you guys have stories where, you know, cancer has touched your lives or otherwise, or you've had personal experience with St. Jude's, please feel free to talk about it. Like, it's if you want to, of course. It's important to feel like it's okay to talk about this kind of stuff because shit sucks. And I feel like it sucks a lot worse when you're alone with it. So, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and pee after sex. And go be super fucking awesome to Funk. Who's on the stream team? Give a follow. Bye.